Yeah.
They've been on the less crowded side of the circle, having an easier time of kind of sweeping in, making sure that they, but of course, they killed multiple teams. We're talking 55 kills over 4 games, so yes, they killed multiple teams getting there, but if there's 3 teams on your side, or there's 10 teams on your side, you only have to fight them one at a time instead of fighting multiple teams.
Yeah, they'll be fighting from a position of comfort. It's a big difference when you have to fight a team that is inside the white gatekeeping you, and it's a big difference when you know you have the easy entrance to the circles and you're allowed to make the plays yourself, sweeping left and right until you know that your side is clean. So yeah, it's a big difference. That's why they got those many kills, is because they were fighting from a position of comfort.
OMG is 2,700 points right now-ish, and then the top 5 teams overall. You've got the teams that we've just mentioned, WTSG, Avanga, Navi, and Team Liquid as well. Surely those are the 4 teams below OMG that are going to have big performances today to try and get them to that spot and try and topple OMG off there. Because everyone else, I feel like, just doesn't have much of an opportunity unless they play an OMG day, right?
Yeah, that could be an option, I suppose.
Yeah.
Most of the time, though, it's all about these teams performing well, and I think they will because they are known to do well in the sector.
Well, thank you very much, gentlemen, as we are going to head over to Frankie, who is with us,
Hello.
the majestic Frankie. So let's find out what she's up to in the Mercedes-Benz Arena.
Mesti tu. Ya tu.
Hello, it's Frankie here in the Mercedes-Benz Arena foyer. Now we've taken you through the swag that's here at PGI. We've even shown you how to play war mode. And now really it's kind of like the icing on the cherry on top of the cake. If you put icing on cherries, I personally do. Because we are at the final place all fans should visit before they head into the arena to support their favorite team. It is the PGI Tattoo Zone. And I have with me right now a selection of those tattoos. I've also got one that I've been wearing for the last few days. I've got a golden pan. It is starting to fade a bit, so my mum doesn't freak out. After about 3 days, these babies start to peel off a bit. So it's not a permanent commitment, but hey, you could always take one to your tattoo artist and show it to them if you really, really do want to show your love forever to PUBG. We've got the level 3 helmet. I think some people probably have this actually on their face for protection. The golden PUBG logo and the classic black PUBG logo you can see here. The nade. I think Wick should be wearing one of these from Honey Badger. We all know he is a god with the nade. The crate, and then of course the golden pan. This is something I actually attached to Pansy earlier, so you might be able to see her sporting it on the casting desk later on. But I don't think we have it right here. My favorite tattoo is a heart with wings, and I think that has got Caleris's name written all over it. Caleris, I'm definitely going to apply that to you later on in the green room. Now, I'm wondering if this lady would show us how to apply a tattoo. So I'm just going to grab the classic black right now and ask if she will help me out in a second once she's done with this gentleman. You can see he's about to have his tattoo revealed. It's very exciting. What has he gone for? We're not sure. We're not sure, but we're about to find out. He has gone for the heart with wings, the Caleris special. It's very cool, Zach. Do you mind giving me a tattoo? Thank you so much. I'm just going to pop my earpiece in so I can hear my friends in production. There we go. And then tattoo away. I would like it here, please. Actually, you know what? On the wrist, because I've got my pan in my elbow. So let's go for the wrist. Yes, please. I'm sure about this semi-permanent commitment to PUBG. PUBG is life. PUBG is Bay. Let's do this. Now, unfortunately, I don't think these tattoos are available online. They are event exclusive. So you're just going to have to come to the next one and stock up, or ask any of your friends who are here in Berlin to give you one of the tattoos. Let's reveal it. Oh, yes. Oh, perfection. She's been well practiced at this. I do want to see. Oh, here we go. John, come to me. This is my friend Hybrid Panda. Now, John, you've been playing PlayerUnknown's mods since the Arma 2 days, haven't you?
5 years ago, pretty much jumping onto Arma 2 Battle Royale and just absolutely loving it. It was so unique and new, and it was so much fun.
And you met PlayerUnknown for the first time at this event. How was that?
It was lovely. He is such a nice guy. He is honestly one of the nicest guys that I've ever met. It was such a pleasure, and he remembered me from the olden days, and it was lovely.
And what for you made you want to play the mods in the first place, and now PUBG?
I really enjoy the one person wins, everyone else loses kind of thing. You know, there's such high stakes, such high adrenaline when it gets down to the end and there's only a few people left. It just really gets your heart racing, and it's something that you can't really get in a lot of other game types.
Now, I have to ask you before I let you go, who are you supporting this weekend?
I want Ghost to win today. I saw Profi on the third person. He was doing great, got some great 7 kills in there. I just want to see an underdog win, you know. I want to see someone knock down OMG.
Let's go OMG.
They were amazing yesterday.
Let's go OMG, bro.
Proof that they're up there.
I do love Ghost Gaming. Just the look of shock on my face was because that's an NA team, and I had you down as maybe a WTSG guy like me.
No, I'm fine with the Americans, you know.
Well, thank you so much for joining me, Hybrid Panda. Before we go, show me your sleeve. This is a man who knows his way around a temporary tattoo. Thank you so much. Let's go and enjoy the games. Analyst, it's back to you.
Semalam server problem, bro. Tak boleh nak stream.
Thank you very much, Frankie. What a terrifying prospect being tattooed by Frankie for myself. She wants to put that little heart and the wings on. I imagine if I allowed her to do it, she'd probably do it on my forehead, and then I would look ridiculous. But there you go. That's how that works out. Make sure to go and grab your little tattoos there, as well as visit all of the things going on around in the arena if you are here from the live venue itself. But we need to get down to the nitty-gritty of things, ladies and gentlemen, because there's a lot of teams to talk about and a lot of formats to discuss. Of course, our first map is going to be Miramar, and then the last 3 rounds of the day will be on Erangel. Now, we want to talk about some of the teams that have been a little bit lower down the table here. Of course, let's start with Liquid first. I say lower down the table, they're 5th right now, so they're not doing too badly for themselves. One thing that's very important to note, though, for us is when we see a team like Liquid coming into LAN play, usually they show up big day 1, 5th is good, but we normally expect even higher from them. They've got to show up in day 2.
They have to do indeed, and the only way they can do that is through playing their own particular game. This is what I've been talking to them about as well, and this is what they've been saying in interviews alike and on Twitter. They've been saying the same thing. We don't watch other teams or how they play. We're more interested in how our game goes. Yep. We're going to be focusing on our thing as well. I think today, though, they're going to be looking a little bit at the other teams close to them, because in particular, those teams might be playing a bit of a spoiler as they enter the circle. Yesterday, I remember a game with the West Circle, actually, that they got blocked in during the rotation. They were doing one of their liquid hooks, going far around and to hook into the white from a safer area. But somehow 4 AM stopped by close to them and blocked them effectively, which should technically happened. They were very surprised by that. They've actually lost a few members in that fight. So yeah, it's a bit rougher for them, but I think they can do great today.
I hope they can do great. Obviously, we usually know Liquid as a day 1 team. If they can turn that around and take their day 1 greatness into day 2 instead, I hope for them that they can change a bit, though, because I feel like they kind of changed from what they usually do, and also talked a bit to them, and they said, yeah, we kind of wanna wait until everybody, because they know it's 20 teams. They know there's so much more fights going on, and they want to avoid losing players. So that's why I've called them the Hail Marys. When they don't know if they can get into the zone, they kind of do the hook, as you say, and then they try into, in the 3rd or 4th circle, they get into the middle and get into a position where they know they can kind of be safe until the later stages of the game. But they tend to just stay a bit too low, I feel like, until there's only 20 to 30 players alive, and then they kind of pop off. I kind of want to see them come on an edge, kind of play sometimes more, like we've seen OMG did. Otherwise, you're going to be pinched in between the teams, and you're going to be circled in. We saw them in the end where they were in the Potato Mountain east of Pochinki. Yeah. They were 4 guys in the middle, and the circle just centered on them all the time. And they made some changes to where their the vehicles was. Yeah, close to some trees, close to some rocks, but they still stayed low. They did manage to get second. They did manage to get 10 kills prior to that. Right. But I feel like if they were in a position to kill, they could have easily pulled a 20 kill gain and won the whole thing.
Let's talk about gold as well, because there are TPP World Champions. We saw that and witnessed that with ferocity in our first 2 days. We saw them do very well in the Charity Showdown. Here in FPP, not had the easiest route through, as we're going to take a quick look at Miramar here overall. That's not where Pachinki is, you cheeky guys, but Pachinki can basically be the equivalent of Picardo overall. And I want to
test for you.
Yeah, there you go. I passed with flying colours. But Gold, looking at how Gold works out, how do you think, what's impacted them in Dana coming into FPP?
Well, the first thing to note is the dance, the golden dance, as we called it yesterday, was pointed, I suppose. Mostly on the eastern side of the circles, and what they tried to do effectively was to go up to the north and go up to the south, bounce around vehicles, making sure that they have a safe entry spot. They stop for a little bit, they scout the area to see if they can have a penetrating angle. They didn't, unfortunately, yesterday. Again, it goes back to what you were saying, that it's 20 teams, much more to watch out for. Maybe today they've adjusted a little bit. Maybe they're not going to be dancing so much around and try to do the same thing that Liquid suggested as well.
Hopefully for me, we did see 3 northern circles, or close to northern circle for them. They are looting in no-go. They have a long way there. True. I want to see them kind of apply the same rotations as FaZe do, because they can come in even later, all the way around, and then come in late, and then wait for the second circle to pop, and then they can approach that, because I feel like the northeastern side is very open at the moment.
Yeah. And looking at how they've been able to, I think we expect more from them, even in FPP, right, where of course Korea isn't as well versed as, say, the Western world, but after what we've seen from people like the likes of Eska, the overall Gold roster, I think we expect them to be more than the current 11th place that's sat in right now.
And we're probably going to be seeing that today as well. I'm pretty sure that they haven't just gone to the hotel and went for a bit of a bath and a sleep. Right. They've been watching the videos, they've been understanding what's been going on. Of course, the circles haven't been the easiest for them either, so they're going to work on that as well. Perhaps they're going to get a bit lucky with a more eastern circle, or perhaps a military, as you were suggesting yesterday. I'm really looking forward to see if we can have one of those. But yeah, in those they're usually very, very killer, and it's.
I mean, they're day 2 team, right? This is day 2.
Absolutely.
I want to see them to pull out the TPP day 2 madness they had. I want to see they pull out for that for FPP as well, because I know they can. They're amazing fragger. Eskin, Simpson, fantastic players. Yeah. I know they can do it. I hope they've been doing the same magic they did from day 1 to day 2 in TPP. I want to see the same magic applied to day 2 as well, because we need some sort of a miracle to stop OMG.
Yeah, and we'll see if some of these top teams can really do that. Something we want to talk about as well is our North American contingent, our teams representing North America. It's been a bit of a rough time for them. Currently, Honey Badger Nation sits at 7th place, whilst we have Team Gates at 15th, Ghost Gaming at 16th place at the moment. What does North America here need to change up to be able to kind of rise up the ranks here a little bit? How do they fare a Miramar, for example? Open to your interpretation. Want to hear your thoughts.
First things first, when Ghost Gaming were going for it was a northwestern circle as well. I noticed that they were going for kills first of all. They went to the Death Bridge in South Georgia Bowl, just to be east of that position, where you have a compound that you are able to gatekeep effectively teams out of. That didn't work out. They had only 2 kills, and then Black pushed them to kill them effectively. So it goes to show that they're not necessarily the most accustomed to that spot themselves. So I want to see them try and play for kills as much. You pointed that as well when we were watching the games. And in the future games as well, they tried some cheeky, I would call them questionable
by the time sampai pun habis game ni half an hour
from one team to from one player to another, and that really ended up with their demise. So Ghost Gaming, they can definitely perform better, in my opinion. T+2s are a bit well thought of, perhaps.
For me, I want to see them play the usual game. I saw their coach talk about them as well. Yeah, we didn't play our game. We need to just focus on our strategies and execute those strategies. They have strategies. They just need to execute on them. I don't feel like they've been playing like they usually do, or how they want to apply their usual strategy just to the 20-team meta instead. Yes, I did like their bridge can strategy, where they got a lot of kills. They pulled out 2 players. Good. They effectively took Welcome to Southwest down to 2 players, but they still got a 4th in that game. And if you can salvage a game by getting 4th, it's much more valuable than getting 4 kills and outside the top 10.
Yeah. My big question then, before we actually get into our first game and really get the proceedings going here, is OMG, of course. They are far ahead of the pack right now. What, in your estimations, needs to happen for them to potentially be toppled, for them to not do as well on this day, to kind of throw away that lead? Because I think everyone's expecting them to come in with the same fury that they had yesterday. But what shakes that up? What changes it?
Aku dah usah 2 minggu saja, dia lagi RM5.
Potentially go for spoilers, you know, they could go for contested drops and go into OMG's looting grounds and try to block them off. I'm not too sure that that's going to be happening. Of course, in PUBG Esports we don't have a gentleman's agreement, but it's kind of understood that everybody has their own kind of spot that they defended from the scrims period, so that's kind of well respected. What else could happen is they could potentially beat teams like Liquid, like Navi, teams that like WTSG, who will play the edge if they have to, and those are very good teams in fights as well. If those teams meet up, it's going to be anybody's game. So for them to go out early, and of course for the consistency of WTSG and Liquid to show up, I think that's a fair possibility today.
I mean, we can't deny the dominance from yesterday. Lion KK had 24 kills. That's more kills than all the teams from 6th to 20 combined on the individual teams. So that's absolutely insane. And also, Shanghai, he had more than the 7 teams, individual teams combined down to 20 as well. They had 41 kills together. They averaged 10 kills together, more than 10 kills together in each game. It's absolutely insane. So they need to be stopped somehow, and they need to go out outside the top 15 multiple times a day for any team to catch up.
I mean, any circle that came up for them, or 3 out of the 4 games for me at least, it felt like that northwest region that OMG was able to control was uncontested for early to mid game, and then by the late game, they have so much power behind them.
I mean, when you only have 3 or 4 teams in 50% of the northern side of the circle, or northwestern side of the circle, and then you have 10 or 12 teams on the southeastern side, of course, these teams are going to find, and they did the right thing right there. They pushed in, they made sure that the northern side of the circle was theirs, and they third parties on the other, they third party fights on the other side of the circle, making sure that everybody else had an even harder time. Exactly.
Yeah, that's the only way to do it, of course. And it always, if you look at competitive PUBG, there's always one side of the circle that tends to be a bit clearer, and it shows that the analysts and coaches of OMG have been doing their job into finding out what exactly those spaces might be in particular sets. And I think they've done an exemplary job. I'm just waiting to see what they're going to be doing today in Eastern and Middle circles.
I mean, and I sent Avenger away yesterday. I gave him some homework. You know, in the school of Kyle Aris, I was like, well, Avenger, you have a job for me. You have to find out what the loadouts are that they're preferring, liking, like KK, Zhaohai. What did they like? Because I think we did eventually see a trend, because they were pretty much free looting.
They had a lot of loot, but what they preferred to play with was minis with 4x's, 6x's, and 8x's that they could get, and then M4s and scars. So they're adapting to the meta. They're playing the meta that is right now. They're using ARs for short range, and then they're using DMRs for long range. Minis and SKSs, but mainly minis. They were running a lot of minis, and they were killing so many people. They were doing a lot of damage to everybody else. 3,200 damage, Lion KK himself. That's insane.
Yeah, across 4 games especially. I think 800 damage is almost double what you see from an average pro gamer in this kind of setting. And also, you got to remember, when they were playing Miramar, they got themselves 3 crates. 3 crates. They had a Rose, they had an Org. I can't remember what was in the last crate because everything had just blended into one at that point. But they had options descend from the heavens and give them all the more firepower.
And that was for Miramar. They knew how to utilize all the level 3 stuff that they got, plus the weapons. But after that, they didn't necessarily get that many crates. What they did get, though, was great team cohesion. I've never seen an Asian team perform like they do and get creative like they do. That was surprising to me.
And here's our tournament ranking at the moment. You can see OMG has a massive lead. The big question on everybody's minds is, will our 2 through 5 teams be able to try and step up to the plate here on day number 2 and topple OMG? Because, to be honest, OMG played an amazing day number 1. There's a lot of other teams there, and the important thing, I mean, you mentioned it before, Boogie, that a lot of these guys, a lot of the teams between that 2nd to 15th, 16th, 17th, that's OMG. Currently, hard. We're getting back to the point that we were
you tak nak ayam lah.
Everybody.
I ingat you nak ayam.
Because OMG took so many points from everybody else.
Aku budget Amalina nak ayam dengan pizza. Aku tahu pizza tu nak flavor.
$160,000, $60,000. You get $60,000 for a team. You win chicken dinners, it's $10,000. So obviously, there's still a lot of money to fight for. Yes, they have a huge lead, but I don't see anybody stopping. I mean, the teams from even 2nd to 10th, they can easily get to 2nd. They can easily contest Welcome Santos if they don't keep their consistency as well.
And
there they are.
Yeah, they had an amazing day number 1 as well, but as we mentioned before, slightly overshadowed by the current frontrunners in OMG. Welcome to South George. Second, fourth, second, those last 2 games, 13 kills and 11 kills, Boogie. They are out for blood, and right now they're sitting in a great position to win a lot of money.
And that's what happens, that's what makes them such a fearsome team, is the fact that they win the are strong, and they will pop off towards the end of the game. If they're not, they're still fearsome, because they are able to clutch it for good positioning, and that gets them a lot of points. That's what I think, and I truly believe that WTSG have it in them to come back.
And bear in mind, technically right now not a signed team, so amazing to see them in that second spot. And here we have a Vanguard currently sat in 3rd place. They got themselves a 3rd, a 6th, a 7th, and a 4th place in their games. That first one off Miramar, though, was a big, big mark. They got so many kills on Miramar.
Even though we saw this circle shift east, they are on the western side. They're by far the hardest side. They swept their way in, they killed a lot. Great position. Unfortunately, they did lose 2 players before the end game, so they had to lay down and trying to kind of camp it out, make sure they got to the top place. But before that, they actually kind of OMG style in, but they just had so many more teams to fight, so they eventually lost 2 players to that.
And here we have Navi as well, that, to be fair to them, have done very well. 9th, 3rd, 6th, 5th yesterday. So their average placement is very high compared to the rest of the pack that we've seen so far. And even in that last game, racking up 11 kills, so big point.
Just like WTSG, a team that is brawler, a team that is sweeping around the late game circles, a team you don't want to meet towards the end of the game there. So yeah, Navi, I think they have a huge potential as well today. They've learned from their mistakes. From what I'm talking to them, they know exactly where to position themselves if the circles would go on the north or in the west side. But yeah, I think they're ready.
All right, well, thank you very much, gentlemen. Everybody here in the Mercedes-Benz Arena, this is the final day. Are you ready?
Lancar nak suruh beli ni lagi.
That's right, let's go to the commentary team for game number 1 of the final day of PGI 2018.
Tapi game ni minimum order aku jahat lah. Minimum order 20. Aku kena beli ni aku malas tu.
Had some incredible matches, but it all leads up to today.
That's pretty much it. There's no more looking back. Only 4 more games remain. If you want to jump to that top spot, you have to pull something out of the bag, because last night, OMG showed the world they are made of. What a formidable
ayam.
Bar's been set. Everyone else needs to try and get even close to it. I don't think we've seen a team even able to challenge yet, but as said, gauntlet thrown down. All the teams now need to look at what they did the same thing in theory.
There's a couple of really strong European teams. I think Europe and CIS are all top 6, just trailing slightly behind. But as it was mentioned on the desk, they are being overshadowed by OMG's performance.
Well, I think it's time to start this show up for the final day. Let's take a look towards the stage.
Gambar ni boleh lah 21 lebih seorang. Apa ke? Macam ni saya nak dapat kan. Bayar masa ambil kan. Boleh tak? Tak, aku pakai gift code aku d4npablo gaming. Oh, like to save this order as favorite. Then another fame. Aku selalu beli kat store Kelana Jaya dekat cash lah. Belum nanti dia call kau. Apa itu? Kita tengok dia tu. Aku dah tengah $50 kat viewer. Sorry, you cannot receive order. Fuck you. Basically, you can make your most likely. Load time lagi. Boleh lah, power lah. Time lah, memang laju. You order pukul 9. Kau punya... Oh, nanti kalau kau dapat email invitation ni kau buat tu. Nanti kau dapat next pizza kau dapat free 1. Aku buat kat Pizza Hut hari tu, aku tak clear lagi. Your order will be delivered at 9:30 per bapak laju. Tapi depan rumah je tu, dekat Maybank tu. kat Maybank. Kalau Pizza Hut dekat kiri sikit ke Brothers. Nanti korang je.
Hello guys, sorry guys, aku order pizza tadi guys. Aku baru order Domino's, aku order banana kaya, aku order tuna apa tuna. Nanti order barbecue chicken dengan garlic onion ring. Ambil kau. Tak payah keluar rumah. Main game. Kita tengok game sambil makan enjoy.
I will never grow tired of seeing that, Richard. What a sight to see on the final day here.
Every single time you see it, it just sends shivers down your spine. What an absolutely unbelievable ceremony we have every single day to welcome these players to the stage. 20 individual teams. They've been sweating their hearts out for the last few months to make it to here, and every single one of them deserves it. There's a lot on the line, there's money, there's pride, and more importantly, there is a chance to say you are the world's greatest PUBG player.
So much hard work has led to this day for these teams. It all comes down to the next couple of rounds. The PUBG Global Invitational is about to know who's going into that final day with that hot hand, which team is ready for the challenge, who is up to the legend that OMG set just yesterday.
4 rounds down, 4 to go, and we're going back to the sunny sands of Miramar. It was an interesting one yesterday. We saw certainly some differences, a few individual teams and individual performances that we're not used to seeing, to be honest. But lo and behold, OMG, they claimed victory in 3 out of 4 of those games, and the only one that they lost, Lauren, was by 2nd place.
You can't take it away from them. Flawless game. I don't want to harp on about it, but even on Miramar, you look at the damage they received, and a couple of the interviews with their teams that they've played in their region say it's their late game, it's their second half game that we find so hard to handle. Now that could open up the opportunity of trying to take them out early game, but they know what their weaknesses are. But that late game, they barely take damage compared to anyone else. Miramar alone, they were 500 to 300 damage below everyone else on received. So essentially means that they won't take fights, they won't take risks, they took calculated options. We are ready for this one. It's Miramar, it's round 5, it's the first game of the final day. Everything comes down to this. Now this is the moment to step up. This is a Sunday. You know, any given time, it is going to be now.
Well, plane is in the air, and away we go. We're going to be skirting the southern end of Miramar, which unfortunately will kind of cut off all the northern regions. We did see this yesterday, a more southerly based swing. You know, when you're looking further afield, you're looking up towards Terry Bronca, you've got Campo, you've got El Hazar, all the big places, El Pozo, San Martin can be extremely busy. You do have a couple of teams that will float around there, but generally speaking, Pecado, Montenuvo, La Benedicta, going further afield than that can cost them, especially if that circle does go down south.
I'm glad you took on the names there. I was going to go for my version of the names. I'll probably get in trouble for it. So, I mean, I'll see how we go. But the one thing with Miramar is the size of this map, the scalability. We'll be talking our way through it as we go. And, of course, these are the guys to be watching. OMG. Beautiful. So far, Savage living up to the name, going hunting with the shotgun. Straight into Leones, the busiest town available, the biggest town throughout this one. So they've spotted out, I think that was Mr. Yoppie. Yes, he's on the run now. He's going to get out of there. It's easy to kind of lose your way through this town and try and get away from all the vision. But the one thing about this map is, that circle is rude. It's been real rude. Northeast, that northern side is completely
okay, suara aku okay? Hello? 1, 2, 3? Hello? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5?
In a fight with 3 other teams potentially on the same road within the same
itu dia OMG berada di kawasan Cuma Cera kan lepas manakala 4am tidak jauh daripada negara mereka. Liquid sangat jauh menghala ke El Pozo. Naik Voxic menembak orang yang sedang fly. Oh! Tembakan liar dilepaskan oleh pasukan Pittsburgh Knights. Voxic dan Galaxy juga menembak seorang pemain yang sedang memandu. Starting yang sangat, starting yang sangat rancak kan dapat lihat. Manakala Al Azhar berada di tengah-tengah zon dan masih belum ada pasukan yang berhala ke Al Azhar. Itu dia pasukan OMG, pasukan pilihan d4npablo untuk hari ini. Hari ini memang aku bet 4 game OMG sebab diorang memang strong. Semalam diorang dapat 3 chicken daripada 4 game. Dan player yang sangat mantap iaitu Lion KK. Oh, lain macam. Bukan Lion KK, lain macam. Dan sorry lama tak tengok, aku nak trial. Tak apa bro, fokus tadi dulu bro. Jangan risau bro kalau tak tengok stream aku sebab trial ke apa ke, jangan risau bro. Nanti cuti sekolah ada masa punya, jangan risau. Cuti sekolah hari-hari, siang malam, pagi petang tak? Welcome to the stream guys. Jangan lupa untuk like, share. Dan kalau anda belum subscribe kat channel ni memang rugi. Tiap-tiap bulan ada giveaway mouse lah, PUBG game kita bagi. Dengan cerita kalau d4npablo menang skin malam ni, dia nak bagi skin PUBG. Jangan lupa guys. Lakukan tanggungjawab anda. Sangat mudah untuk memenangi barang-barang freebie.
In comparison to the other maps. So again, you want to be able to ensure you get those 2-2s. You want to not get too much pressure early on. You want to be able to get range as well. That's a big thing on this map. You need range. You need your DMRs. This is why it bodes very well for teams like teams who like to take ranged fights to succeed in them, should I say. Is the fact that you need it on this map. A lot of it's very terrain based. It's not so up close and personal on occasion. Of course, once the circle moves in, it's all the same. But you are given plenty of opportunities to get those Car 98s out, get those SKSs, the minis, the DMRs are really working in this. You're already seeing the Car 98, the loops up on the back of it, all looking nice for Keen. So good to be seen there in a Vanguard.
Itu dia pasal Vanguard. Ranking ketiga untuk mode FPP kerana mereka perform sangat teruk di TPP. Kalian dapat lihat mereka cuba untuk dapatkan prize pool yang lebih tinggi lah di mode FPP kerana mereka lebih specialize kepada FPP mode, dia orang kata.
It's a budding area. There are a lot of good teams that are on the come up now. A lot of certain individuals that are going to be your stars of the future.
Oh, pasukan made in Thailand berada di Pegado tanpa dikacau oleh pasukan lain.
To catch up to one another. If one takes the lead, it's the other one that has to follow.
Sangat sedap kalau dapat tahu. Ini sport ni 1.5 kali 1.5 untuk SR, DMR dan AR. Jadi AR sniper, assault rifle dengan sniper rifle yang auto tu lebih banyak. Waalaikumsalam SS Gaming. Thank you for the sub brother. Kepada siapa yang baru sub, thank you so much bro. Tak kusah. Kita pasukan Navi, Molodoi. Ranking keempat untuk mode FPP di hari kedua. Mencari top 3, dapatkan prize pool. Ketika itu di CGW Kurat jatuhkan Savage, pasukan yang berada di dalam Los Leones pada ketika ini. Itu dia Kurat melakukan push untuk menghabiskan Savage. Saya rasa Savage tadi sedang cuba untuk mendapatkan kereta, tapi telah ditembak dari jauh oleh Kurat. Dan Kurat pergi untuk menghabiskan kill. Bro, kerja apa? Kerja duduk rumah main game buat masa sekarang ni. Sebelum ni ada kerja lain. Apa connect ni bodoh? What the fuck? What? Oh, lawa gila Mirador dia.
On the way out, on the road,
the fuck?
Will be happening. I'll be able to spot each other on
the
way
furious.
Rotations, but I wonder about the teams.
Jadi pasukan Savage dan pasukan Mif hampir bertembung tapi mereka melalui jalan yang berbeza.
Making the teams who took the longer road towards the north once that circle hit.
Kau macam Shroud Malaysia. Mana ada nasib hari tu dapat chicken tu. 1v4 wah, detect. Kau ada kan? Semalam. Jadi 4M melihat Savage lalu pergi melaki kereta dan melepaskan sedikit tembakan kepada Ragnar. Terkena sekali di situ. Oh, luka dengan tembakan liar. Dapatkan Savage mara ke dalam zon selamat.
it's something to play for if you just go for the spray. If you can't at least kill them. Do as much
Tak
damage.
telah tembak. Sekali oleh 4am Luka. Itu dia pasukan OMG. Kan pasukan pilihan d4npablo untuk malam ini. Telah mendapatkan 4 ekor 3 ekor chicken daripada 4 match malam. Pasukan yang sangat strong daripada China. Sama pemain yang bernama Lion KK. Bukan Fragger. Dan itu dia Genji Goleska. Mendapatkan EUG kali 4. Jadi suit. Untuk loot crate ini Malaysia tak ada pula kan. Malaysia tak masuk bro. Malaysia tak kalah dekat qualify. Aku pun ada masuk qualifier. Okay, cara nak pergi Berlin ni dari Malaysia lah. Okay, kau kena main dekat rumah qualifier. Okay, kat qualifier tu kau kena finish top 4. Okay, team aku nombor 7 qualifier. So tak dapat pergi LAN qualifier, dia panggil LAN qualifier. LAN tu maksudnya main dekat CC yang dekat Battle Arena tu. So kalau dah menang kat Battle Arena tu, hari tu Lapak Esports, Gang FTY, Red Sea, satu lagi apa?
So in case you get worried like, oh, my favorite team doesn't have that building, or you haven't got a good spot, they'll be just fine. Now, Welcome South Georgia are heading all the way up north as well, but right now we are seeing Chiefs trying to just show off, out their chest and say, don't you dare come towards our compound.
MSK Poseidon lah. Lepas tu tim tu 4-4 tu yang menang tadi kat Malaysia pergi main dekat Thailand. Dekat Thailand ni tim yang menang tim MIF ni. MIF ni. Satu tim ni dapat pergi daripada Southeast Asia. Dan jom main aku. Bila? Malam nanti sikit lah. Sekarang aku nak tengok match dulu bro.
There's potentially 4 teams that might inject themselves in this circle at the potential same place.
Jadi pasukan Savage.
Still no rest for the wicked.
Asal daripada Argentina.
Second team now on there.
Very nice loot on him.
Okay, welcome to the stream guys. Jangan lupa guys untuk like stream ini, share kat Facebook, kat Twitter, kat Instagram kan. Lepas tu kalau paling penting belum subscribe, kena subscribe kat channel ni. Channel ni so far 2 bulan straight dah buat giveaway. InsyaAllah next month buat giveaway lagi. Xiaorong, apa ni Xiaorong?
They have a lot of vehicles, don't worry too much. They've been collecting en route, so they can pick up their buddy. And you can see them taking their time on this little dip. You could do. They want to try and keep this movie to create options down the line. Could be a nade if needed.
Do it. I believe.
But it just flings into the teammate. Very flat car, going to be quite tricky. Maybe they'll just take it with them. It can be just like a mobile shelter.
Just try and bless him.
They're giving it a good go. And they're not in the safety yet. And this will slow them down slightly, so that could give an opportunity for the other teams to get into better positions earlier.
Itu dia. Who's gaming me koi? Pas kita berikan ke arah tayar.
On the main road above them, TG and Liquid on rotation. Black's always there as well. So there's 3 teams that they actually, by slowing them down in this vehicle side, might have done them favors. In fact, Black have found them.
Now this could be an issue. I don't think
gaming cuba untuk mendapatkan Genji Go.
Now, if you are on the other side of things, you might want to keep moving. You don't want to be taking fights when you're outside the blue on this map. It's just a waste of kind of your utility and everything you have, and you don't get you gain points. So you don't know who you're taking out. You don't know that it's going to be OMG that you're going to be fighting.
Black.
So again, we're seeing that bit of a crunch towards the northern side, but beyond that, everyone going in.
Masih berada di
Tori Ahumada. It's a very easy mentality to keep in mind. But you don't want too many fights here. This is not when you want to be fighting. You don't want your vest to get damaged. You don't want to get on the dig top. You don't want to be going through your meds or burning those out too early. You want to take your time on it. Find a bit of safety here. And Liquid, we're not surprised at this. We are seeing TG doing something similar. Hitting around on that blue. Hooking in, as they like to say on the desk. And they're willing to do it. This map is treacherous to drive on the actual open terrain. Stick it on the road. Just like that car can gun it. That's all good.
Apa nama benda tu dia punya Irado, aduh. Shroud tak main ke RZ channel? Shroud dah tak main, dia main hanya pada 27 bulan hari tu. Charity match saja. Yang ini dia kembali kepada pro team. Oh, tegel. Anda dapat lihat. Dia katakan 50% Itu dia. The Gates, Mossy, Telangga Exco yang mereka telah tertembak. Itu dia. Team Gates buat kesilapan, terbunuh member sendiri. Dan Genji Black datang untuk mendapat kill mudah. Oh, kill mudah, 30 poin yang mudah untuk pasukan Genji Black. Kau dah dapat lihat. Dan itu dia pasukan Navi untuk ke arah yang berbeza kerana mereka sudah berada di dalam zon selamat. Mereka ingin mendapatkan posisi yang lebih menarik dan cantik untuk lihat enemy lain datang dan engage lah. Itu dia pasukan pilihan dari Pablo OMG daripada China. Juga mengorak langkah ke dalam zon. Dan itu dia WTSG dan Refund. Dan ada satu tim lagi CGX berada di dalam compound yang sama. Refund ingin ke rumah yang sama, tapi terjumpa Pewboy. Adakah dia ada tembak? Dia ada tembak. Dan kawan dia membuat U-turn. Pasukan Refund. Pewboy melepaskan tembakan dengan vektor kurang efektif. Itu dia DJ Chip. Oh, terminum ketum. Vektornya terbalik. Nasib baik pakai seatbelt. Ninja sama juga ke? Yes bro, Ninja pun tak main ni. Yang streamer yang famous tu diorang main satu hari je. Sebab diorang bukan pro player. Yang streamer yang pro yang main macam Ibiza. Ibiza ni streamer tak? Tapi dia more tu kompetitif. Shroud ni streaming more to entertainment. Macam tu lah. Iza ni ada stream tak? Yang main Liquid. Apa Discord kau? Discord aku ada link kat bawah bro, dalam description. Syafiq Rizwan. Boleh klik tekan description kat bawah. Kau scroll sikit description aku tu. Ada link Discord channel aku kat bawah. Pasukan OMG.
No, they're not.
Pasukan pilihan yang Pablo untuk malam ni.
Yesterday when we were watching them, they were never in a hurry. They were playing the edge, but they were playing it aggressive. Like we see teams playing edge, they play slow. But if they saw
kalau dapat lihat semua pemain OMG sebuah kereta untuk bergerak. Mereka lebih mobile lah, senang cerita. Tak payah tunggu member yang lembab seorang kan. Kau lembab. Dia macam kau lambat kau mampus. Masa aku nak main macam tu lah malam ni.
As in the fact you'll be the first to put your foot to it, but if you're OMG and you know you can take a fight, you don't need to hurry it. You're in a good spot, you can buy time, allow others to test the water. We've seen other teams struggle by trying to find that placing, but beyond that,
Galaxy.
Jatuh kan? Going down is devastating.
Oleh Refund Gaming daripada Thailand, Miao. Dapatkan Galaxy. Itu dia, Honey Badger Nation. Dan kereta terbalik di depan Liquid. Dan keretanya telah meletup. James menumpaskan teammate. Tapi Ibiza telah terjatuh. Mati. Ibiza belum mati. Dia masih knocked out di belakang pokok dan Wick cuba melakukan push untuk mendapatkan confirm kill. Dia berjayakan Wick kerana pasukan Liquid masih berada di keliling compound tersebut. Tapi James memberikan set cover fire untuk selamatkan Ibiza berada di belakang pokok. Itu dia Skum. James melepaskan tembakan ke arah fast trail yang cuba untuk mencari angle yang berbeza.
So now the next circle comes in, slightly southern, push down, still quite central to this, but it does.
Nanti Quack Scream ajak main. Quack Scream tu arai bro. Dan PUBG Mobile pun ada skin kereta. Oh yeah, nice.
You saw that Scream didn't have a single scope. He didn't even have a red dot or anything on that.
Quack Scream tu arai bro.
Just be careful. He can get peeked out this window if he's being a little bit haphazard. And Scream again, I think he's trying to just juggle what he's got here. But the other teams now up towards the north are going to have to run a bit of a tricky road. That eastern side, it's okay. It's nice to play on the coast. It's very open. It's very sparse of cover, even with the terrain.
I mean, to kind of extend on that one a bit, Lauren, it kind of goes hand in hand what we said at the start. They were pushed out of their home territory. They like to go
AHQ bakal bertemu dengan pasukan WTSG. Larsen berseorangan. Dan dia dapat menjatuhkan Waisun. Dan Winner dapatkan trade dengan mudah. Winner terus melakukan finish. Terdapat lagi dua orang pasukan WTSG berada di belakang. Tapi Winner harus mendapatkan Waisun yang sedang telah ditembak. A3 datang untuk melakukan sedikit support.
Yeah, and they're doing it well.
Dah grenade sampai. Waisun jatuhkan. Keluar daripada game mana kalau winner. Telah di down. Satu grenade yang menarik daripada Vard. Dan Miraku menjatuhkan K3. M4 melakukan trade ke arah Miraku. Situasi 1 versus 1 sekarang. M4 lawan Vard. Itu dia. WTSG menghantar ASQ Esports pulang ke lobby. In ke-20 iaitu ASQ Esports telah tewas. Dan kalau nak beli game Steam boleh ke guna credit card SIM? Credit card SIM tu apa? SIM card?
Down to 2 players, both of them have been tanked up. They'll be lacking utility, gear, meds, everything else that goes with it. Saying that, there is 6 players dead up there at least, so that's a very...
Oh, itu dia pasukan MIF, dia telah di-grenade.
Where did that come?
That's a great... That's a belting attempt, to be fair. But, you know, touching further on Vard and the remaining player of the WTSG, they do have all those loot boxes that they can go through now, all the dead bodies. OMG, they're arriving to the party, but yeah, they're actually been gatekeeped out, funnily enough.
And now OMG have barely been inside the new circles at any given point. And I mean barely, they'll often sit very much on the cusp of it.
Guna top up boleh beli Steam OLED dia. Kau beli guna top up tu Steam OLED, lepas tu beli game. Boleh beli game. Pakai SIM card. Hello Daniel Natasha. Hello, what's up?
His teammate because Funky M's on the way past, so is Pino. Silo is going to be in trouble here. UMP switched up, maybe hearing those cars pull up. He holds his breath, trying to hear any steps that go past.
Kesorangan, dapat 3 orang ke 4 orang bermain PNG yang dekat dengan beliau. Dia melakukan sedikit penghisapan gam. Pasukan refund pula berada di belakang. Terdapat Chilo untuk memberikan sedikit informasi kepada Mortify yang sedang menghisap gam di dalam longkang. Tim OMG kena hidup mati. Hidup bro.
Did Chip just see them?
I think they're just skirting this. I don't think they have the information because they're still looking back at themselves.
Oh!
Now they know where Silo is.
Yeah, he's got the answer. UMP in hand. Goes for the pre-fire. Doesn't quite see him.
He's got to go fast. He's got to know there's other teammates close enough by. He's got... Oh, the top. The tick on the nade. Smart play from him, but now sees 2. He needs support. He needs help. But he's got an angle to play on.
Baik. Flank. Oh, dan Chilo dijatuhkan. Mortify tidak dapat memberikan sikit cover kerana terdapat pasukan OMG. Dan itu dia.
Squad OMG. They smell blood in the water, but Mortify. Could he be the man to unravel? Silent. He's walked over him.
Silent BG.
But he gets the kill. Now
terjumpa Mortify yang sedang mengisap gam, tapi pasukan refund sangat lemah sekarang. 2 orang sudah down. OMG datang dengan pantas untuk melakukan kill. Pino, Funky M dan DJ Chip berada dalam smoke. DJ Chip telah bangun dan oh! Lion KK membuang 2 grenade dengan cantik. Seorang lagi pemain refund yang tinggal. Funky M.
Funky M saved them before, but it's too
dan itu dia. Lion KK.
Again, kick things off. Looking deadly.
Menghantar pasukan Refund Gaming pulang ke tempat ke-18.
5 kills in the bag. GG so far. OMG continue to strike fear into the hearts of players.
Permainan cantik daripada pasukan OMG. Pasukan pilihan d4npablo untuk malam ini. Pasukan yang sangat strong daripada China.
They do have Liquid just ahead of them on the very tip though. So they need to be very, very careful. 17 teams, 57 individual players alive. We're only 20 minutes in and we've lost 3 teams already.
Ada di depan TGX Aries.
Early fights coming out. Essentially is what's happened here. Once they're non-avoidable, you're already out of
the ready to
you have to take it or you die. Now we'll be seeing the rest of the teams in the south beginning their maneuvers up towards the northern side. This is a bit of a back and forth battle. One of those where no one really wants to commit to this because Chiefs are already feeling a bit of the pressure here. They had some early fights. Maybe feeling a little bit, you know, wounded, but the nade's coming out, and actually, that's a big couple of kills coming in.
Yeah, that's 2 players from Black down. Dramatic will be able to get Sexy pick up, which, to be honest with you, is going to be imperative going forward.
Jadi Genji Black mendapatkan ahli pasukannya, Sexy P yang telah down. Dah bangun kembali akibat dia tembak oleh pasukan CGX. Oh, melepaskan tembakan. Oh, tembakan yang sangat efektif terkena kepala. Down kepada 10 HP. Dan CGX menjatuhkan pasukan MIF. Dan Grammatic cuba untuk mendapatkan kill steal. Dan itu dia Grammatic Mencuri kill daripada pasukan CGX.
Still taking fire from the distance. The Aussies want to get involved as well. Chief just looking in the distance across there.
Look at OMG and Liquid towards the top. That could be a potential fight down the line unless
Dia
they
pasukan
just swing
Myth
where
lagi
they
4
are.
AM
There's no
CBT
need
pula
to
jatuh.
get involved too early on. Again, we know that OMG will
4 AM bermain dengan sangat teruk untuk competition kali ini.
Doesn't seem to be the name of their game.
Tetapi
Play the balance perfectly.
pasukan China, oh 4 AM tewas ke tempat 17. GG pada tim 4 AM. Prestasi yang sangat teruk yang ditunjukkan oleh pasukan 4 AM pada minggu ini di competition PGI.
Take the helmet off him, take the chest, take the body, take the points. 16 teams, easy peasy. The thing that you have to remember about OMG as well is that we're taking out, there was initial fight going on there when they did rock up to it. So there was 2 sets of body boxes on the floor.
Pasukan tembakan jarak jauh, lebih kurang 200 ke 300 meter.
Out of their mind, scopes,
jauh ke arah pasukan Navi.
More importantly,
Lion KK berada di satu tip yang sangat cantik di sini.
Yeah, they were actually lacking that. I saw a couple of the AKs they're holding on to were down to maybe 2 clips.
Pasukan OMG selalu dengan posisi yang sangat cantik. Sedang melawan dengan pasukan Pittsburgh Knights yang berada di seberang jalan. Lebih kurang 200 meter daripada mereka, tetapi itu dia. Liquid untuk mara ke arah tim NG Black. Orang, oh itu dia Esther yang telah down difinishkan oleh Rio. Oh pasukan critical balik ke shift. Sedang lakukan sedikit gunfight dengan pasukan Myth ya. GG4AM bro. Itu dia pasukan Myth. Lakukan sedikit perhisap kami. Check areas. Lepaskan tembakan lagi ke arah pasukan KG Black. Sexy pick. Down yang kedua. Balingan mid ke arah sexy pick. Lion KK, live kill point 405 point Lion KK. Top fragger to FPP mode.
We've got some long range fights between Gold and OMG working their way in, but Avanga in the middle.
Dramatic tinggal seorang di dalam smoke. James tidak dapatkan vision karena Dramatic yang berada di dalam smoke. Tapi mereka untuk balik bom dan Liquid Ibiza buat tambungan bom ke arah Green. Oh, kena Dramatic sikit. Oh, dekat ini terkena. Oh, oh, kena yang cantik. Ibiza.
Back pop pocket.
Baiklah kau mengacarakan PGI ni, boy. Thank you bro, Khairul Hafiz. Atus Vincer tewas ke tempat 15, manakala tim Genji Black tewas ke tempat 16. Pasukan OMG masih bergaduh dengan pasukan Avanga sekarang. Dan OMG! Mereka kehilangan seorang player, Xiao Hai. Dan di-finish oleh pasukan lain.
Finally seeing OMG maybe not looking flawless here.
Made in Thailand's gone. Ghost are doing all kinds of damage. Down in the kill feed there to Ghost.
Tapi malah yang buat Xiao Hai, dia tembak dia jauh.
To see when one of those two teams goes down.
That Ghost Knights fight is big, Rich.
They pushed them back. I mean, at the moment we can see it. Ghost are just pinning back Knights into the blue right now.
Lion KK melakukan sedikit looting.
Players down on either side. It looks like it's Profi with a god nade.
Profi.
Absolutely battered all 3 for 1.
Menjatuhkan 3
and the Knights
orang
are gone
player.
from this competition.
They certainly are now. If you look at the
Pasukan
positioning
OMG
going from
masih lagi
Gold,
berada di dalam
again,
kawasan
these
yang
guys
sangat
weren't having the
cantik,
biggest of
sedikit
performances,
rich
but we were so impressed with them in that third-person perspective. You
pasukan
can't
Liquid
write
juga
them out. They were such a dominant team.
berada di
They won
kawasan
just
lebih kurang
about
sama.
everything, and their positioning is good
Bukit
here. They've gone
Bukau,
for really play, two in a nice compound.
dapatkan
You've got
vision
two
ke arah
split
pasukan
out onto
CGX.
the terrain beside
Lepaskan
it, so they
sedikit
hold
tembakan
a
kepada
lot
Aries.
of the map currently. The north side is
Santi.
currently Liquid. OMG still have players alive towards the northeast.
Dan James
The south is
menggunakan
the NA side, High
K98.
Imagination and Ghost.
Nampakkan Lion
And then
KK.
towards the west of things, you've still got Chiefs out there. You've got CGW out there. You've got a
M4
lot
yang
of
kali
teams still
4.
kind of scrapping around this
sekarang.
area.
OMG down to 2 players.
Tinggal 2 orang player saja. Tak untuk mereka menang game ni. Kau stream sampai pukul berapa ni? Pukul apa game ni yang 4 game? Aku kecek Kelantan lah sedap tak? Kecek Kelantan nanti ramai tak faham enggak? So macam susah sikit lah bro.
Lion KK, the man is a monster and I would not be
Lion KK,
wanting to be in Liquid
main apa
shoes here. You've got to
bisa.
know that they were around this position. Both teams are aware that by how
405
much
kill
Lion
point.
KK, he was considering a nade.
Oh lawan 4 sekarang. Lion KK terkena tembakan. Liquid.
He quickly gets out a nade.
Dan James.
Needs to land these shots
Oh
and
Xiao
land
Rong.
fast.
10 HP. Dan grenade cantik.
James is under pressure. Ibby's got one ticked and as does Scoom. It's Lion KK.
Lion KK sudah melakukan sedikit healing. Keluarkan AK-47. Mungkin dapat lakukan pick ke arah James yang berada di depan beliau. Mereka kekurangan player dan mereka harus main dengan sangat cerdik sikit. SMT melakukan flank dan Lion KK dijatuhkan. No! Jorong tinggal kesorangan.
But honestly, with the buffer of how many points they've got throughout this competition so far, Lauren, getting top 10 is fantastic for them.
Dan itu dia pasukan OMG, pasukan pilihan d4npablo telah dikeluarkan di tempat yang ke-10. Manakala tim OSM telah terkeluar di tempat yang ke-9. Ada tinggal 8 tim lagi 25 orang yang masih hidup. Dapatkan pasukan yang akan menang round ini. Tapi aku tak dapat skin aku, malang sungguh kerana OMG telah tewas awal pada round pertama di meramai ini. Alang sekali buat OMG. Harimau mati meninggalkan belang. Manusia mati meninggalkan. Oh my god. Sudah, Ghost Gaming berada di posisi hujung zone yang sangat cantik. Terdapat sedikit bukit buka untuk beliau main. Itu dia Genji Go Loki. Datang. Ke CGW dalam situasi yang sangat penting sekarang. Dua pemain mereka telah down. Main TV seorang Ragnar berada di tengah-tengah yang dari CGW. Dan nampaknya Liquid kelihatan sangat strong pada malam ini. Posisi yang sangat cantik. Itu dia. Profi ditembak akibat leka. Tapi membawa malang. Dah sampai. Baik.
Liquid won a bit of the battle as well. This is going to be pressure on both fronts. Loki did come in, did find Turtle. He finds McCoy. Loki's up to no good, and Turtle does get confirmed dead as well. This is very nice play, good control on the Scar. Breaks watching with lust in his eyes as we see another master of spray coming out.
Balok peeks around the corner and soon dips back as the fire does come his way.
Don't want that.
Nope, Loki's done his job. He's eliminated enough. Eska though, kill feed, that's if he knocked. AUG finally rears its head. ACOG on top. It's a nasty weapon, 5.56, and again, you can just spray this at range because of the kickback on it. It's a fantastic long-range weapon as it is close.
But the angle is excellent from him. You need a Kar98 to be able to dig you out of that. Balak does go down in the end. That was the fight we were watching earlier with Loki. They're holding on very well here. Vard is your last man for Welcome to South George. He's desperately trying to be able to stay alive, but he's in between so much madness here. But his nade's good. That's found Ibby. This throws a spanner into the works. James is trying to creep his way forward on it. Scoom. Oh, Vard! On his own, a feral man in the wild here. James trying to make up for it, but Vard now deals with that. No, the trade was almost there, but Liquid had the numbers. Samty was still alive, so revives are possible. Honey Badger Nation, though, working their way in towards gold here. That's 3 men on the move. That could be the next big fight.
They've not actually, this is their first knock, so they'll bleed slow here. It all comes down to how low Q plays this one. Samty might be able to get both of them up here. This would be massive if they could. The damage has been done. The armors are going to be dinked. Fast rail around the corner. Eska,
do they know?
He's the one with the ghillie, so he's hiding in the bush.
God. Eska on the prowl. He pounces on fast rail. Where's the support? His teammates, they're being called in now. They know there's more here. Eska leans the angle, spots out Wick, but look who's in the back lines. Gold have more players now close by. A nade could be big. Eska does go down, but will he be confirmed? No, he's got cover for now. Gelator needs to get there, needs to find a spot, needs to play this out perfectly. He's looking for him, but is it going to be enough? Is he good enough to take on a whole squad here?
He has to back up, 50% HP still. Peeking the corner, we'll get to the vehicle, probably able to get the res here. If Honey Badger Nation want to be smart, they should push this, they should knock them out. He's all dinked up, he's all kind of damaged at 2 for 2 now.
Loki was so far away, he's going to try and get in there now. The prone! The timing! He's got to get back up, he's going to try and save his team, but it's too little, too late potentially now. He does find one, he confirms the kill, avenging his fallen teammates. But now this is where the nerves kick in. This is fast rail now picked up, Grizzly's there, and Loki hits the deck. Eska will bleed out, surely nothing he can do. He's trying to find information for his team, but still standing strong as Liquid. You have a Chiefs man working his way on the edge there. He's playing the the Bush Wookiee as such. He's going to be trying to work his way forward. Edge peeks up. He's a strong one as well. He's got a level 3 helmet on that. I would not be peeking that willy-nilly.
55% damage reduction, but it does rip off 50% of his HP. They have information where they are. Look at that circle swing. It goes towards Honey Badger Nation. Edge, last man standing for his team.
But look at the gun he's got.
Itu dia, pizza telah sampai.
And he's got a big boy gun on the back, so
kalau dapat skill apa then, Woody tu, yes bro, dapat Woody.
Hornets list, just don't go near it, don't poke it, leave it be. Now, this is the big story here. Loki can be the annoying gatekeeper. As soon as these buildings get a little bit of pressure, he could catch them on the way out if they try and push for real estate. Liquid need to move towards this though. They've heard the fights in the background, they'd have heard what was happening with Gold and Honey Badger Nation. They don't know how that went down, but they know there's 4 teams alive.
What's so impressive here is that I'm still seeing level 2s on Team Liquid, so either they've been and looted dead bodies and got themselves back up to a full kit, or previously it were just the nades that knocked them down. He's fancying a vehicle. I mean, I don't blame him too much, so you bring it in and give him some kind of a wall.
Does he get him up on the roof as well, maybe? It might. Gives him a nice bit of extra cover to play around. But that's an easy shot for Edge, and they don't expect him there either. Liquid have a little bit of an angle left open here.
Edge doing what his name suggests and playing it. Fast rail holding the angle. The tiniest crack seen through as well. Loki still clinging on. Because remember, Honey Badger Nation, they've been knocked, they've been damaged. You'd expect their durability on the items to be
spotted.
Does he have meds? Because he's still 50% HP. I didn't know if he had meds or not. He must have a stim on, surely.
Maybe. Edge has made his way, and he's going to just hit the deck, I can imagine. Prone in any cover he has. It's the next circle. Again, this is going to be very tense. No team has to make moves here in theory.
I didn't see the arm. I heard you say a big boy gun, but I didn't know it was literally that big. So it could be a problem for several teams. But again, at this, I mean, don't get me wrong, he can get some kind of an angle now. He caused problems for Team Liquid if he caught someone's face.
Because if you look at Liquid's positioning, they don't actually have the perfect position in this circle. They're not particularly safe. They have this building, and that's it, and it's very open to Edge. If he gets the arm out, and he starts picking at them, this could be a really easy way for them to start getting pressured. So let's see if Edge is feeling up to the task. You might not want to give away so much of your position. In the fact that when the next circle hits, you're going to be running in, all eyes on you. But he can hold the cross in theory. The terrain here actually plays not too badly for Edge. He could maybe get the tree early, but again, you'll be pincered. Scoom going to be working his way forward. Hits the deck, goes for the pro. Now, Honey Badger Nation are going to be locked in by Loki, 100%. 100%. He will wait as late as he can.
Fast Rail's got to get a nice pick here. He's got an M24 inside that build, and if he can find one of Liquid's faces, then that gives them a doorway, gives them an opening. But like you say, this is a lovely place from Scoom. Extend a little bit further. The annoyances of smoke will go down. They'll try and build some sort of a wall, and it looks like Liquid are going to do the same as well. You can see Scoom already with a smoke nade in hand. 10
seconds. They need to start stimming up, getting ready. I'm seeing flashes coming out for Honey Badger Nation. Anything they have is going to be put into play. Jeems, a little bit of pressure. A couple of shots come out, but I think that's Loki potentially. I'm not sure. Edge going to have to start working his way in as well. Jeems is keeping eyes on those buildings. The 16's not perfect, but we're going to watch what he can do with this Grizzly. Going to be... Oh, he's hit the prone. That's a smart way forward. Liquid hold the circle for now. It looks like it's all eyes towards Honey Badger Nation and Loki. Edge creeping forward, dipping into the blue, back and forth. Who sees who first? It's a terrifying game of hide and seek for now. Smoke goes in for Loki. Edge, move forward. He's in a bad spot now. He gets found by Fast Rail. That does mean we're down to 3 here. Loki's still alive. Trying to use the smoke. Hits the deck. Hits Jeems towards Fast Rail. It's actually Honey Badger Nation doing very nicely here. Grizzly doing well, but not well enough. It's 2 teams. And oh my... Wait, did they die to the blue?
He died to the blue.
He died to the blue.
He did. He died to the blue, and Genji Gold are actually gifted a win.
What a fumble from Liquid at the end.
Fuck?
They thought maybe that was it. Huge errors being made from Liquid at the end. I don't think they knew that Loki was even alive, and he waited so long. He was the last man to turn up and try and support Eska, who went down, and Chelito, who went down, and he was the one locking in Honey Badger Nation. But then Liquid took a lot of damage in that fight, and maybe just didn't move up quick enough in that blue.
I think he's as stunned as what we are. I was looking at, I thought, are they going to push on this one? Are they going to move in? I mean, I don't know what happened there, but that's a... When you're chasing OMG and they've gone down in 10, every single point counts. That should have been a Liquid win in my eyes. I mean, don't get me wrong, we can't count out Loki. He's a goddamn amazing player.
What happened? I think that's being discussed with them right now. That is not a happy team. You finish second, you're normally okay with that. That is not a happy team. Bear in mind what happened with the car to them yesterday. What's happened now with the blue? They're making small errors. And Yeah, not a happy team on Liquid, and I don't blame them. Something went wrong there, because I don't think Loki even shot.
They had 2 alive, right? They lost James because of the guy sat
ayam
on the floor,
nangis.
fair play, but surely they had 2, that they could have took the 2 versus 1 here.
I don't know. I wish I could get a replay on that one. That is a map, just a view that I wish I could see, because I cannot theorize any situation other than a mistake they made where they died there.
It happened so fast, but then again, you do have to remember that blue, at that stage of the game, it absolutely wrecks house. That's enough from us. We're going to take a very, very short break. I'm sure the desk will be able to talk about it a little bit more when we return. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a minute.
Oh, this could be all over. The shot coming in as well. It's exploded. Down he goes.
Yes, bro. Good guys.
This is insane. They're swinging it round. One's on the back side, and here's there. All the smokes are down. 3 players are up. Make that down to 1. Able to just pincer them here. Here comes the crush. They look down the barrel. Samteef's there.
There's a spanner into the works. James is trying to creep his way forward on it. Scoon. Beyond! Fast rail. That does mean we're down to 3 here. Loki's still alive. Trying to use the smoke. Hits the deck. Hits James towards fast rail. It's actually had High Imagination doing very nicely here. Grizzly doing well, but not well enough. It's 2 teams. And oh my god. Wait, did that go to the blue?
Dia pun tak tahu macam mana dia menang.
Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Mr. Board. In this program, we will let the players to design their own posters to cheer themselves up. And first, we are proudly invited the Navi, Grenis. So, would you mind to say hello to the audience?
Hello, everybody.
So let's start our creation time. So
I'm really bad at it, but hopefully I can show you the Navi tactics. Should I show it to the world?
Yes, of course, we should show it to the camera.
Okay, guys, that's probably not gonna look good, but sorry, I'm really bad at drawings. So yeah, this is pretty much Navi PGI strats. You know, we are pretty decent when playing on foot. That's why the first we just bump our cars into a tree or rock. Then we just get shot by some squad from the hill or something like that. So we get out of the car, just, you know, turn around and kill them all. I hope you can understand something here.
Okay, I think I can get something. Right, straight. You're Russian straight, right? Okay, that's all for Drain's interview. Thanks for watching. And also thanks, Drain's. Okay, hope you have a good trip and good match tournament in this.
Kau rasa siapa champion malam ni? OMG tu. Red Panda ni siapa? Red Panda ni selalu ada kat dalam ni. Tapi selalu lewat malam ah, macam budak-budak macam Sarun dah tidur ah. Selalu tidur lah Sarun. Time lewat-lewat dia selalu ada. Champion malam ni 4 AM bro. 4 AM pula. OMG bro.
They're at the top of their game. 7 kills here. Great compound of the circle, but not the next.
Critical as well. He's confirming the kills. And
spotted music off in the background. Ronan's going to push up though. He finds Testy. Another knockdown coming from Bandit Esports here. Edge has spotted them though. Missed shot from Waikiki Mukau. Kazarus is dead as Peeper Potato. His butt is sticking out from the tree. Mukau's looking for the revive. Never mind. He's going to get sprayed down. Edge comes up clutch for the Chiefs. Yeah, the Chiefs indeed, Bandy.
Zesco's done a really, really good job of rank taking it. Somehow, Peeper Potato is still alive for the Chiefs Gaming, and Kingdom Gaming have got all the cards in their back pocket. They have the high
V1. It's been a great performance for Greyhound. Talk about it all the time, yeah.
And that's what goes. Not sure about this one. And there goes 2 of the SYF members just again quickly into the circle. Chiefs, they can choose when to take these fights. Coming in from that high ground, exactly what I spoke about. Cozy here, but can't have that high ground advantage. And Kingdom Gaming is actually still alive. Yep.
Muka Genji Loki macam tak ada perasaan bila tak. Dia tak expect dia menang tu sebab tahu macam Jam yang tak banyak. Yes. Very smart, very smart play. Pak aku nak vote OMG. Oh, OMG boys.
They did it in TPP. Can they continue things in FPP? Gen G Gold able to take #1 spot there in our last round and finds themselves a lot of points to boot. Here is the overall ranking as it stands here, and you can see one of the big factors was OMG going out in 10th place. That gap is slowly getting smaller here at the start of day #2. A big shift potentially here for Miramar.
Looks like indeed, and so far what we've seen is nothing short of legendary. Looks like patience pays off. It pays off to be a bit more quiet, of course. Gen G losing a lot of members in that 5 versus HPM, but then they started snaking around, and there you go. A snake wins the game. An incredible effort by them, of course. Unexpected. We thought it was going to be Liquid for sure, but when we saw the standing at the end, they're Gold winning this. What a surprise.
Super surprising, but also they doubled their points here, so they're actually sitting up there in the top 8 right now. Super nice for them. But to just really quickly break down the end game there, James, he did push on Honey Badger Nation. Loki did play completely right, smoked himself, tried to make sure that there are as few amount of people alive. Edge died to Honey Badger Nation, but Honey Badger Nation actually put a lot of pressure on Liquid. So they got so low that they died to the zone. So they sprayed them down. James, he got 1 knock, and then he got knocked himself, and then Fastrail actually got a lot damage onto the 2 other remaining members, Samty and Scoom. So they died to the zone, but it was because of the damage made from Honey Badger Nation.
Overall, it's going to take a lot to try and catch up with Lion KK in terms of those kills overall in the tournament. Because Lion KK still got himself 5 kills throughout that game. So extra numbers only adding to that potential MVP down the line. I want to ask you, Avenger, because we saw a lot of smokes towards that last circle, and obviously you were kind of looking very astutely at how everything was moving around in that last circle. What do you make of the smoke timings? Because Loki's came out a little bit later compared to everybody else's, and it seemed to work out for him.
Honestly, I like to see this kind of smoke, how they did it. Usually what you see is they smoke themselves just in front. What I would like to see from this ending, where we have, before it closes completely in the middle, it's 67 meters wide in a diameter. What I'd like to see here, I'd like to see, instead of Liquid smoking themselves, I'd like to make them smoke in front of their enemies. So they have to push inside the zone, so they have to come outside the smoke. So make their visibility towards Liquid completely, they have to come outside the smoke. Instead they can't see anything. I'd like to see that instead, because they knew there were players in there, they knew there were 2, maybe 3, they saw Edge over there from Chiefs, so they knew he was going to come around, he couldn't get into the zone. And then they count, so they knew there were 2 or 3 members from different teams in there, so instead of making a smoke wall for themselves, they can push into slowly. I'd like to see a smoke wall in front, like completely covering them, the visibility and the line of sight.
An aggressive smoke, I like that.
Let's talk about what we saw at the very beginning of that game. Let's start way. It was a while ago now, about 30 minutes or so, but we saw Liquid not going to Picado. They went much further elsewhere, and it did work out for them, eventually second place.
It's a big deal for them that they stay alive as late in the game as possible, and you can see how big it was for them. Getting second place is no joke. They're going to be very happy with the points that they have here. Yeah. And that's all for them quitting Picado. We're like, okay, this is too big of an event to try and show our, you know, to try and contest Picado. We don't have that many games in our arsenal left. So they went Alcantara. Of course, they had another player playing just south that I think it was Samti. Then they went all the way up north and penetrated the circle from the northern end there, and it was quite a good entrance. Not a lot of teams were coming in from that angle.
No, it's kind of what I pointed out in our pre-show. I wanted to see them, instead of going for the Hail Marys, I wanted to see them kind of play the hooks and then stay on the edge instead of hooking in and then going center. So I like the kind of play style they did here. It's kind of what I wanted them to do. It's what they usually do when they frag out. But then again, they also came in the northern side where there were not that many teams, so they had the possibility to fight a smaller amount of teams instead of on the south where we saw an absolute massacre with 12 teams fighting it out, and eventually only one member from Chiefs surviving that.
OMG's approach eventually was through from the north, going so far through the north to come in at the east side, and they did eventually get themselves a little bit of a fight, because let me just quickly check which two teams it were. They heard TG and Refund fighting, and you saw the opportunistic play coming out from OMG there. They instantly went as soon as they heard the fight.
And it's what they're good at. It's what they're good at nowadays, it seems. Not for a long time they've been doing this, but now they understand how powerful circle sweeping can be. And when they heard that fight with Refund coming out as the victors, they weren't victors for a long time. Those nades coming in from OMG absolutely decimated Refund Gaming, set them out early on, and gave OMG such a great boost for utility, for weaponry, for anything they wanted, ammo. It was all theirs for the taking.
I mean, honestly, here for me, it's the meta of the new competitive scene of the PUBG. I feel like third party and sweeping is completely new, or not new, but it's the new way of winning. It's the new way that you don't sacrifice your helmet, your chest armor, you don't lose durability, but you wait until they're the weakest, but also when they have the most knocks. So when you see a couple of knocks, then you stop third partying. Perfect play by OMG. Perfect transition from them as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And eventually they did go into the circle later on. Fallout in 10th place there, as we have some Avengers friends overall as well here for the Mercedes-Benz Arena. And we saw Liquid eventually being able to wipe out OMG. Of course, OMG got a lot of kills themselves regardless, but that was a big moment when Liquid was finally able to take them out. Flying KK didn't have much opportunity to respond.
No, he smoked himself. I actually expected him to start fighting them, but Honey Badger Nation did an insane amount of damage. They killed, or effectively killed, or impacted the four last players, Edge and the 3 Liquid guys. Loki survived it.
Yeah, absolutely. But in that fight, of course, between Liquid and OMG, it was particularly special to note how Samti went for a 3+1 wide split there, and he helped out his teammates so much. They tried to nade that smoke, didn't work out, and then Samti said, okay, I'm going to be doing what I normally do, play the support role, help out my teammates. They were staying 3 strong. He went out on the side there, mini 14 to the dome of the last OMG player, and that was it.
I feel like the crates in this game were cursed. There was 4 AM, had 2 crates instantaneously, move on around, and they actually go out in 17th place. Knights pick everything up, la-di-da, happy stuff. Then they move along, they all die. I think it was off the Ghost.
Yeah, Ghost.
And then they move along, and then they all die off. And it's 3 crates worth. Everyone's just transitioning all these items.
I mean, with so many fights, there's no level 3 helmets or vests left. Everything is destroyed because of so many fights. But there were guns. We saw Edge having an AWM and a helmet. That could have been huge as well. But he cleverly decided to go around the other side instead of engaging on Liquid.
And his patience paid off as well. Very, very good set for his team. A lot of snakes this game, we noticed. And that's where, of course, Miramar offers very difficult transitions. You got to lose a lot of members in your rotations. Your pathing has to be impeccable, otherwise you're going to be out of the game. But yeah, I'd like to point out Vard as well, playing as his solo. After first off, Larson got down, and then 2 of his teammates, the other teammate got down as well. Him puffer fishing. So if you would, let's make a biology lesson. Let's think about a snake that also turns into a pufferfish. It kind of looks a bit weird, but that was Vard this game. He was actively trying to keep his little spot there, trying to make it seem like it's a full team fighting against Liquid on the other side of the road, nading them to high grounds, and they actually left him be. So it worked out perfectly. Great clutch moment by him.
I mean, they got a top 7 position right there. With a lot of kills to them as well. So they're still in the top. They're not extending their lead, but they're keeping their lead.
One thing that we saw at the very end of that game was a lot of emotion out of 4 AM as we cut to them briefly. And they understand that their 17th place in the previous game was not good enough, and they want to be able to ramp things up, especially for the Chinese contingent that we have here supporting the Chinese teams. They're ferocious, and if they've got anything to learn from OMG, it's that, you know, it can be done. It can be done here by the Chinese teams.
Creativity didn't necessarily seem to be the forte of the Chinese teams in other esports, but here it seems like they know exactly what they're doing. They're being very creative with their fights, doing everything correctly, and it's working out to their advantage. Sure, for 4 AM it might be not, but another team from Asia that is very creative and very good at rotations.
That's right, it's Genji Gold, the winners of our previous game, and most importantly, from what we saw from them in TPP, they didn't do well in day number 1, but day 2 they showed up. Avenger, this could potentially be the prelude to them truly showing up here in day number 2.
They went home, they did the same magic as they did before day number 2 in TPP, and they're prepared. If we see the same from them, I mean, they doubled their points. They had 4 games yesterday, they doubled their points in this game only.
Yeah, well, let's not curse them yet. Of course, we got 3 matches left. I really don't want to do the same thing that happened to Myth earlier on at the start of the day. Let's not do that yet. Yeah, Genji Gold have a hefty climb up there. But as we were saying in the pre-show, of course, because so many points have been racked up by OMG, Genji Gold actually have a chance at getting to second.
They definitely do, and remember, Genji Gold overall in the TPP, they won. They came first place with 3,300 points-ish. Currently, we see OMG around 2,900 points. So they still have 3 games to even kind of trump that position that they're in. But of course, all of these other teams have a lot of work to do. Knights is one of them as well, Avenger.
I mean, I feel like Knights had a very good position here. They did wipe out 4 AM. They had a good position. But again, we talked about the South. The majority, 70% of the teams on the server, they came in from the South because of the shift kind of went north in the important moment. Everybody collided in the South and fought it out, but only one player survived. Out of all those teams, only Edge came in from the South. Everybody else was in the middle or transitions from the middle towards the north, or was in the north already.
Yeah, can we talk about that for a moment, actually? Because we don't really get much chance to talk about Chiefs. While Savage also here as well, who actually got themselves 5th place during that game, so that was a phenomenal performance by them. Chiefs, we had so many kills racked up by them. They got themselves a 4th spot, and they got 11 kills. Edge with 7. That's got to be their best performance of the tournament yet.
It is at this moment in time, it seems. But Chiefs unexpectedly showing up right now. It's a bit late perhaps, but they did great in their qualifiers. They trumped over their teams. I was actually looking forward for more at this time of day, but talking about looking forward for more, perhaps another team that we could see more out of would be this one right here. Do you think they have a chance, Martin? Because I don't know how they could come back on that top 5 spot.
I mean, if they keep doing this, the money is still huge, right? We're talking 60,000 for 4th. They can still get up there if they continue this run.
All right, thank you very much, gentlemen. It's time now to head on to game number 2 of the final day here of PGI 2018. Let's head to the commentary team for all the action.
How are you, my friend?
Thank you so much, and indeed, another round to go here. This time we do get to see the beautiful rolling hills of a map I much prefer to Miramar. So, I mean, I'm happy being back here. It is going to be a good matchup. We've seen the gauntlet now not being kind of thrown back into the faces of OMG, but other teams are turning up, so that's why I've got some popcorn. I'm ready to watch the game, Rich. You can take it away.
You want me to go?
Yeah, go on.
All right, then we'll have to solo cast this one. We're starting off in the top for Zaki. We're going to be on the west coast, going diagonally across all the way to east. And we're going to be ending in FaZe's backyard. It will be Milta Power. Obviously, they're not here. Another team will be happy because it's going to be across their home territory. So a nice big spread straight across Erangel. Everybody can go to the home turf. Everybody, in theory, should be happy.
It's what you like to see. It kind of keeps everyone with the potential of not being messed up on those early positions where you have to think, oh, how am I going to get here? Do we have the cars available? Are they easy to handle? Do I have to fight for it? What way can I get around this? Now, looking at the skies, we'll be seeing Liquid doing their usual, spinning around on a dime, trying to keep everyone wondering where they are, and this is going to be the race for the vehicles, but actually, made in Thailand, actually finding 2 there, nice and quick pickups. It's obviously one of the higher percentage roads to get them on. If you have the compound right in front that normally has a car spawn, or can have a car spawn, one behind, plenty there, and these guys will know it. These guys know where the car spawns are, like the back of their hands and the percentage chance of it. But actually, Liquid aren't looking too alone early game Yasnaya here. So they could be in for a little bit of a scuffle back and forth, but hopefully nothing too major for them.
Slightly intriguing, 4 AM kind of lingering and lurking around the edges of Yasnaya. I'm intrigued to see if Na'Vi take a full roster all the way down to Prim. They're the ones who have the most work here when you look towards the playing path, and they'll want to put Stalbus or Happy Days, but they have to go all the way down to Prim. We're already 2 minutes into this game, and they're only still flying on the edge of Gaka. And there is a team down there, so they can't land. They have to put some vehicles in there. If somebody gets lucky, I mean, the Chiefs are already taking a few shots. I can see on the map we are on the POV of Yumru. Fair few early engagements down in South Georgia. We've seen that a fair few times between them alongside their George players. It's going to be WTSG who will, again, they would suggest that, to be honest. Further afield, Circle has come in. She's moved down to the east. Milta Power, skirting the edge of Lily Bay. Sonny Badger Nation are going to be in. You'll see Gold, they're going to be in. Generally, all the teams, the one that may have the most difficulty, is probably actually going to be the George.
Yeah, they'll probably have a tricky time coming in, just because the highways there are already going to be pretty rife with players, so it's always going to be hard rotational routes, very hard routing to get in towards that safety. But a lot of these teams who are in these outskirts actually do like relatively playing it late. We know Liquid are in no hurry, excuse me, not Liquid, but Welcome South George haven't been going mad central just yet, but they had a couple of games, so they'll pick it up and they'll try and get those center compounds, so they could be put through their paces, but they might have to switch gears here a little and try and approach it from a different way.
Just to make note as well, obviously you're seeing Ibiza on screen. Level 2 bag, level 2 helmet, K98 on Scoom, they got bags, they got best. Navi still haven't even got past Quarry. We're over 3 minutes into the game and it's still not their home territory. Alright, we're going to have a bit of time still to loop, still plenty of time in the bag for them to do the usual things, but they may have to play it a little bit later. James, Silence 16 on the back, happy days for him. Again, AKM, vest, both level 2, well, excuse me, level 2 vest, level 1 budget helmet. Over towards the crates, Grammatic and his IGL Sexy Pig, they can do the usual thing, no one comes in here, so they can loot like a trooper.
See, now I liked calling it the budget helmet. I might rename it to Hemlet, because it's not really a helmet. You know, it tries to be one, but it's not quite there, so I might go for Hemlet. We'll change it up. You know?
I mean, it's actually, officially, I think it's a biker's helmet, is it?
I think so, but Hemlet is
I'd like something a bit stronger if we're on a bike, to be fair.
You'd hope so, wouldn't you?
30% damage reduction, it's not
looks
great.
like a bowling ball. It's not ideal. You will imagine you're going to hope that you're going to level 2 throughout where the loot is. I think the desk highlighted it as well. Being careful with how much you put credence in staying clean all the way through this game. In the fact that you don't want to take those early fights because your gear just gets trashed. And then you come in late game against someone who's completely pristine, you're kind of done for. Now, obviously, you can't avoid that the entire time. That's simply not how the game goes. But being mindful of it is something we're seeing more and more teams going for, playing those kind of very timed routes towards the circle, ensuring they don't get in there too early and just have to take plenty of fights. They don't want to be going for risque sort of approaches, and it's smart. It's a good way to play it. We'll see if, speaking of smart, Profi, it's all good. That's fine.
Spoke about it a few times. I mean, there's a lot to be said for next fight survivability. Yep. What's your gear going into this next matchup? You know, can you take out the players that are going to be in front of you? You have to kind of weigh up a lot of things. Can we approach this fight? Can we win it out? Do they have any gear that we're going to need once we've ejected from it? Are we going to lose utility? Is there any point in taking this next battle? Because, again, you lose so much stuff and so much utility going for the late game. Yep. There is a, and this is where you rely on your IGL, there is a point in PUBG where, should I bother shooting?
Oh no, there is a huge balance, and I think the good teams know it. Now, I want to start talking about the prime positions, the prime cuts, where teams who like those early rotations in the central spots will be heading towards. Now, we've seen a lot of the teams kind of opting to sit below the south of prison, along this kind of area. There's a couple of compounds, a lot of hillsides to play off that dirt road that leads in between, I guess, apartments and north of farm, slap bang in the middle of that. We'll see a lot of teams going for that as well, and that's actually where a lot of the fights are. Liquid often go for it when it's available, but that certainly is not the case here. They'll have too many teams in their way.
I'm really happy you touched on Liquid, because they've only just set off, and that's a team generally when they like to go early. They like to get in the vehicles, go get early grounds, get some sort of compound, get a prime position. Necessarily, they've not done that this game. There are plenty of people ahead of them. The Knights are doing the usual. They're spread across the map around Prism. We have Myth, we have TG, we have Ghost. They're all clamped together, as we say that. Total POV. McCoy gets a knock. The SLR does its job. Profit comes through, seals the deal. 15 points move to the North American roster. They smell blood, they want more. Not necessarily the best setup on there. I think it was a Copra 2 times. Flash Hider on the front.
Known for their bloodlust.
And we played various games where there are angry turtles, but that's another story.
Maybe plan having to adjust. I think, again, this is just teams trying to find a nice position to begin in. OMG, they always kind of loot the southern Golden Coast as such, work their way across it. no big hurry. Plenty of areas to get to. You can do nice splits. And the way they move is great. They'll send out the 2 players first. Use the scouting method very cleanly. This time they've been quite central. They're not sitting back and waiting. We have seen them occasionally get towards that eastern bridge. Not necessarily camp it, but hold around that area. Not a bad idea at all. But this compound is just as strong. They'll trick you to rotate away from if you don't have vehicles, but we know they do. So they're sending Silent out and Lion KK to have a little look around. Honey Badger Nation and Gen G Gold working their way out of Nova, but no mad hurry for anyone at this point. It's just the early teams who might have wanted a little bit of a different position to play from.
I mean, if you're OMG, you know for a fact that with only 3 games remaining, you are in contention to win this whole thing.
Masih belum ada gunfight yang menarik.
I think you can just aim for a minimum, do the evermore strat, so to speak. Know where you need to be throughout the game. The coach will be saying in the back, okay, we need a minimum of this position coming into the final 2 to get some sort of points on the board. You'll be expecting teams to move early. You'll be expecting your prime locations, your prime compounds to be taken. So honestly, I don't blame them for splitting things up. As you can see on screen left-hand side, 2-2 split, vehicles in hand, couple of warning shots going for an OHM, just in the Farmville. On the left-hand side to it, above that, you've got Ghost, who are also receiving a bit of fire. Again, warning shots, stay away from this. This is all ours. They are spread out. TG on the Golden Road, the one that pretty much heads all the way up to Yaznaya. You've got Nightslinger in there, you've got Myth, Savage, CGW. Nobody in Milton Power, so everyone's kind of bidding on this, moving away from the water, moving inland, and knocking out Milton Power, knocking out Nova, knocking out Sosnovka.
Yeah, Milton Power is... Again, it's funny how they just kind of cluster central. It's risk management. You can't blame them for the early couple of circles. You know how the circles work in the competitive mode. It's all over Reddit if you guys don't know about it. I'm sure you can have a little read up, and it's in the rules as well, which is never fun to read. They're like 50 pages. But the point is, the teams know how it works. They're going to, oh, speaking of how it works, 5PM shows us what that AKM can do. And Larson feels the pressure early on. They have been having a tough time here. Welcome South George. We theorized their rotations could be tough, and they certainly have been.
Not see that one coming. Rotation doesn't go his way. Clips the tire and absolutely smashes him to a million pieces. Larson deleted from the server. We're sitting back in, trying to help with the communication now, looking at other people's screens and generally being the IGL from a distance. Gaxi throwing out some answer backs. Meow's been tagged up and hurt quite badly. If he can at least get a couple of bullets onto the tires, he takes some sort of utility away from it, or at least makes it difficult to rotate going forward. Pino with the smokes, they'll try and at least build something here so they can get themselves back to 100% health. Maybe they move away. I mean, I don't mind the position that they're in. WTSG definitely have a better one because they have an elevated line of sight. But certainly it's not bad with 3 vehicles and still a fair amount of players up. AHQ. They'll take the wards area just on the backside of the yellows, opposite long wards. But parallel to them, you will see Honey Badger Nation on almost the same rotation here.
If you are just tuning in, this is all first-person perspective here. This is what we were all looking at. We thought it could be dominated by your CIS, EU, NA. That has not been the case. The Korean teams have looked good. The Chinese teams have looked phenomenal thus far. And again, this has been something that has caught us a little off guard and certainly turned a couple of the heads in the community as well. But it's wonderful to see. We could be seeing a bit of a battle, as I just said, between some of the very good teams on that eastern bridge. Maybe a back and forth, maybe not a fully committed fight, but you have OMG down there, you have Genji Gold down there, so that could be a fun one to keep your minds towards if you see a couple of their names in the kill feed. That southern road is getting littered with teams here. Na'Vi on the other side, still sticking out towards the west, slowly working their way forward. I think we've all died on this hill trying to stop a bike at some point, and it just flips forward for no ungodly reason. But it is where it's Rainies.
Imagine.
That would have been ambitious.
He can do it though, he's a man who can.
It's like when the buildings don't render in when they're that far away, you're like, oh, okay, that's a far shot. That's a tricky one.
It's a bad boy. 4 AM. Just watching people rotating on by. 8 times on the back of the minute. Look for an SLI if you can find one, or a can. Try and get the 7.62 with the 8 times. It's always nice at range. Men from the CIS. Lepovka just above yellow as well, opposite ends of the spectrum here on the map. The circle will come through and she will go almost dead center.
Hoping for that. Again, warding people away. Still have to be careful on your ammo management as well. You don't want to expend everything and be left with nothing. It is the nightmare and the reason I carry 300 bullets for no reason. But in the back of your mind, it's not what you want. But God V, going to be able to control himself there. And as you said, the circle very much pulling itself very central. This is what a lot of the teams will gamble on and what they'll hope for. And you're going to see who really gets the benefit of it down the line. You can be seeing the edge teams playing their way forward. Navi, Chiefs, for example. A couple of bits of fire. Again, it's Knights this time who will be loving this circle. Keep in mind, they loot very much around this area.
Oh, Avanga have also joined the fray. 4 players up. Myths there. We got CGX, we got 4am, we got Knights. I actually like Avanga's position here. They found it just on the edge of the prison. Samti finds Dre. Dre also onto Ares. That's going to be a headshot. Samti always with the snipes. You've got to be careful. That man can tear a helmet off at some serious range. Voxic will be able to get his teammate up at least. Only 2 players dead so far. 12 minutes 40 into the game. This is going to be quite a slow one, especially with this circle as well. What will be interesting, Lauren? Oh my, Potato Hill, just to the right-hand side of Pachinki. Got Navi on top. Chiefs are there. And Black are rolling up to the party as well. We might have 3 teams hit each other.
So I'm pretty sure Chiefs are on the plateau that sits on the western side of it. Navi to the top. And actually, Genji Black are the ones who could be in for a bit of fun here. It looks like Chiefs are actually peeling off of this. They might have just felt the pressure coming in or maybe spoil one of the Black players and just gone, nope, 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 no, no, don't want it. Yoon Root's on the way. Sexy Pig is there. I don't think they knew Navi was around. Maybe they did. Maybe they heard the suppressor going off or something of the such. But now, if you're Navi, you're wondering, why are they escaping so quickly? What if they're running? Should I be running? I mean, I'd be a bit worried. Navi taking a couple of shots, but every shot they take allows Genji Black to get a bit closer.
Took the words right out of my mouth. By firing off that SKS now, it's give the information to Black that there is a team directly in front of them. Here are the vehicles. You'll also have the information. Sexy Pig has definitely spotted them. He's told his teammates to back off, bring the vehicles, and we'll do something from here. Trigger discipline for now. And we'll just hold back. There's no point in being pinned outside the circle. How are they going to play this one? All the players are going back out into the white, so they're going to go for vehicles and then maybe re-rotate.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure, actually. They'll be looking for other options. If you're feeling pressure, if you're not wanting it, it's ideal to just back away. You don't want risks in these games. There's essentially this round and 2 more to go, and that is it. That's done.
Interestingly, Navi are looking their way, Lauren, which suggests to me that they have that info.
He's still there, though.
He's on his own, which is quite scary to be honest. So watch the kill feed. You'll see if he comes through. Silent finds one as well. Taps away with the M4 6 times on the back of it. And he does. Molodor finds Sexy Pig. So, Genji Black's IGL and then Fragger, unfortunately, will fall. Interesting that he stayed there on his own. Probably really wasn't worth it. Maybe it was the backup plan. Maybe it was to try and watch what's going on, give the information to the rest of Black while they reposition themselves, which is exactly what they're doing now. They've got the vehicles.
Bahkan CGX, bigger boy.
Couple of shots, and it is really the DMR match right now. We are seeing it so prevalent throughout this.
It's because there's so many of them on map. I think there's potentially a slight increase in spawn rate. I could be wrong there, don't quote me. I remember seeing something in the patch notes. But they're just so easy to find, and the fact that you can fit also AR attachments to them, you'll just see constantly.
Suppress.
Suppress mini, suppress mini, suppress mini.
Yeah. And it sounds quite nice. Gonna be feeling a bit of pressure off the back of you though. Has to peel away, hit the deck, prone away, get the heal off. You can't get too overzealous on this. A Kar98 can still rip your face off. Let's keep that in mind. The gun's still an animal. I always love the Kar98. It's one of the ones that I love looking at players who can really use it, make it look darn good. And, Texas isn't going to be allowing me any happiness here. He's just taking wild shots.
I remember with Mini as well, it takes 5.56, so it's very easy to keep a hold of. 46 damage per time. It's a nasty little gun. If you get a decent scope on it, you're laughing. You carry as much 5.56 for days. 7.62, you are limited because it does weigh heavier amounts.
Circle goes north.
Liquid already under fire as they approach their next position. Everyone now needs to move around.
Yeah, I'm looking to see where teams go, because there's not that many options, Rich.
No, there isn't a great deal of compounds there. I think Avanga are in the best place at the moment. They've got the backside of prison. They can chill and do their own thing. OMG have to run an absolute madman of a gauntlet here. You've got Knights on the right-hand side. You've got Liquid in front of you. Honey Imagination to your left. The bullets are already coming down from TG. This is going to be dangerous. Keep an eye on that kill feed. OMG have got fire from 5 different angles. They're actually running in.
They're pulling up.
Yeah, they're pulling into the Knights, Lauren.
Yeah, this is going to be tough. Knights already took a bit of a scuffle, so some of them are going to be trying to heal up here. Pure Boys line up the kill feed. That's Chiefs under fire, but OMG just need to try and find a bit of respite for a second, settle into this area, because you've still got CGX in the back lines, laying down a couple of bits of shots towards Knights. You can see those return bits of fire coming out. Knights ensuring there's no escape here for OMG now.
Thankfully for that. Ooh.
Liquid might be able to get a glimpse or two as well, depending where they are. Silence gone down.
Okay, so that's pretty big.
Oh my god, jangan mati awal.
All kinds of problems. We've seen back and forth engagements for them. Laveri on Potato. He feels the blunt end of a 7-6-2. 3 players alive for OMG here. SLR in hand, I'm seeing. At the front lines, who went down first? Is that the Chiefs? It is the Chiefs, so the Aussies out in 20th position. Ragnar onto TG as well. That's a headshot with a can.
Look at that angle.
I mean,
I was going to say, right, Knights were being quite cheeky. They put a couple of players down to the tunnels. Now, normally you don't expect teams to do that just because it's really awkward to play through. There's so many angles where you can get picked up. I remember when people first worked out where Shelter was before there was names on the maps. And it was just a bloodbath down there. It was terrifying to play through, but very good fun. But now you know those angles and it's very tricky. But that was a filthy low one, just prone to the top of the stairs. Watching that now. James. Keeping tabs on 4am. You stand still, Aluka. Your head will go rolling.
I was quite intrigued to see if like one of the OMGs just decided to go full-blown YOLO and just, you know, run underneath, creep out the other side. Hello, Knights. Welcome to the party. Dip down low. Both teams have the option to do that if they want. You wouldn't expect it because it's such a bottleneck going up the stairs. You're going to get lined up by so many ARs. The Knights will block. Again, if someone wants to come out the stairs, they've got a bit of a blockade there. They've got vehicles where they can eject from. Again, K98, minis, they've got range, they've got scopes. They're laughing for now. Esker and the rest of Gold, it's time for them to make their move. Their first rotation, they're coming out of Novo, heading towards the map. And they're going to take the east side of the circle.
We saw them before kind of skirting the edges in the last couple of days when they didn't have success in first person in comparison to third. So maybe this is the adjustment. They've gone back over, watched the replays, and they've gone, okay, this would work for us. This is way better for us. I am seeing Ibby not there, but I'm sure there's another team close by. Probably Drainey's potentially maybe the mini helping out as well.
Kopfer in the kill feed, the 24 hit him point blank in the face. That's going to be a warning shot and a half. That circle once again. Almost going central. 4am, Liquid, Knights, OMG, CGX, 4am. All these teams currently sitting happy. A little bit of a reposition will have to come out of Avanga. Will they opt to go around and back in? Gold, they're already on foot. They're already going for it. Vehicles in hand, away we go. But from the back lines, AHQ, downside of Mansion. They'll be dinking them up something chronic, so when they arrive, there'll be all kinds of damage on those vehicles. Won't be using too much of them for too long. Is going to wait back and see if you can get some sort of information. Actually, I suppose if you poke the bear, you get the claws they've set up here. Maybe set a trap for HQ as they come flying by.
CPT's on this though. I think Gold will probably try and pull up it. Oh, OMG. You've got players very close by now. We did have players keeping eyes on those tunnels, but you're going to hear those steps if you're drilled into this. Ballot could be there as well. We'll see if they keep a really good mindset around that. I know a lot of people have been thinking OMG are going to come out of this looking good, and I don't blame you. They've been playing good games, but they are in a really tough spot. So many angles to keep tabs on. 4am on the move. Actually going to back away from this one and refund. Doing well.
Humroot's gone down. Godv's also been picked up by Samty. You called that one earlier on. Finds his target. Aries straight onto Minaru. He's dead. He's gone. Myth lose a player. Total rankings come up on your left-hand side. As we're talking about, you can see almost 3k in the bank for OMG. AHQ again. They got a little bit overzealous. Shots. Just put him over?
Yep, just caught him on the rotation, I'm pretty sure. Welcome South George, not feeling good about that, but Navi can't confirm this, I'm pretty sure. This could be everyone else carrying on forward, but Welcome South George, we're just in the open fields. There's so many angles, Gaxi is in so much trouble. He can't find safety. It's OMG finding the kills.
It was indeed a double run over. One of them run him over, other one came across and confirmed the kill, but now all of a sudden Navi have rocked up to the wrong side of the party. Drainers is down, Ilam's damaged, Eba, he's killed, he's gone.
And you can see the live rankings. This is great. You're seeing the updates as it goes. Indeed, they are dead. But we are seeing a huge cluster around Shelter, a huge amount of players here. This is going to be a lot of kills coming in. We have to make sure that they're actually teams going out here. Actual confirmed kills. That's going to be one. Esther, fire from afar. It's Ibby finding it. Liquid condensed themselves. They brought everyone back together now. Putting themselves through. OMG finding Gaxi. He's been having a tough time here.
That's good for them. Take out the main fragger of your number 2 target that's directly below you. Feels bad, man, for Navi. They rocked up at the wrong time. They go down in 18th place on the rotation. Just couldn't find anyone with the circle size. The central's open, but there's not a lot of defilade to kind of cover your backside on. Simpson goes down. Mumino finds him. They move down from the prison. Esker still just trying to find somewhere to go. Simpson now going to get put out of his misery. AHQ have actually been gifted a favor for now, however. They have fire from yet another angle. 2 players remaining, and that vehicle is just wobbling as the tires are removed.
You've got a couple of teams in real trouble right now. Welcome South George. Miraku is pretty much taking fire from a lot of angles. You can see him now trying to find any cover, any respite. You've got Dramatic thrown down. That's very much another team who's in trouble down to one sort of player. Beyond that, you've got Ghost, you've got OMG, Knights, Honey Badger Nation, all very close by. So these are the teams you might see in the kill feed, but it's actually G20 Texas. Landing some very fast shots here, keeping pressure on over maybe 200, 300, 400 meters of a shot coming out from him.
Tapi tu lah, kalau nak main game, aku kena main game menembak.
First
person, FPS.
Back-to-back
First person tu maksudnya bukan pistol. Kau nampak pistol dekat screen. Aku tak minat tu main game lain minat lah, tapi tak lama lah. Macam PUBG ni boleh main lama tau.
Kramer finds a fast rail, will at least
GTA
confirm that kill.
Aku pernah je main. Tu aku main GTA online dekat PS lah.
Pittsburgh Knights, 4 members alive, same with
Dulu masa zaman tak ada PC. Zaman PC ni tak pernah lagi main GTA dekat PC.
Circle claiming a victim. Okay, here we go. So this is big. Let's look at the teams in good positions and who's not. Ideally, who's not for now. Who needs to be making the moves? Who needs to push themselves into circle? Made in Thailand, Team Gates, a couple of the Vanguard guys. Genji Gold. Actually, Texas gets spotted here in those tunnels. He can't get away. Hot on the heels. You can be seeing Ghost making the push now. Texas being hunted down. And he will indeed be confirmed dead. But the rest of Knights now will be on notice. They'll know there are players in these tunnels. It is not safe down below.
Rainbow Six aku tak beli. Rainbow Six RM24
that Knights can be given that information.
Rainbow Six aku macam malas nak main, kena setting, kena
maybe get ready for the oncoming assault what could potentially happen.
Yes, aku dah ada download.
High, just looking further afield. He spots a couple of Liquid members in the distance. His teammate comes flying down from upstairs, completely tanked up. That was close. Lion KK gets his health back. First aid, happy days for him. Stims are in the back pocket as well.
Is that Welcome South George done for? I can't see any more of them alive.
17.
That's a big loss and a huge opening now to that top 5, top 6. Exco still going to be finding some fire here. High ground being held. Nade comes out. They need some pressure to be taken away from them.
Oh, mampus kau!
W in trouble. That's a confirmed kill and Nade just about makes. Oh, the car comes through out of nowhere.
Doesn't find a target, but this is madness. They're getting
left, right, and
center. Who's gone down? It's AHQ, the first one to fall. K3, last player alive for his team. Did TG go down as well at the same time?
Tak teringin ke main Fortnite. Aku dah pernah main Fortnite dan aku pernah stream dah Fortnite.
Thankfully, these two are alive, but they got fire from the backside.
Tapi aku memang tak minat Fortnite. Sorry,
Team Gates wipes out Crest Gaming Windfall. That means they eliminated all 4 players back to back. A little bit unfortunate for them. We're down to 14, 41 individuals. Mossy going to put the smokes up because he knows that the fire is going to be coming from directly in front of him. Gold eliminates Black. Shalata finds Dramatic Scoom onto Sadat as well. This circle, everybody's finding everybody because the central's open. It's the edges what are causing problems, especially down south. We've got about 7 teams.
James is out and about. He's going for a walk, and if he lands some of these shots, they're big. He's got a lot of ammo to play with. He's feeling it. He's fancying his chances. Gotta be careful though. Vanguard not in a good position just yet. They're just getting into the new safety as such, and there's a lot of teams very close by keeping eyes on this. Now Liquid, luckily for them, have a lot of range here. They'll be able to keep a lot of teams under pressure. They're still in the circle. It's when they have to leave, you're going to see a bit of a predicament. Now Gold under fire from afar. You've got to be careful, Esker. Can't step too far now.
Bigger point for Liquid is the fact that they brought the vehicles inside the hangar so they can chill. The next circle will dictate how many of these teams die. Pure Boy goes down from the zone. Yukon finds Esker, knocks him for now. 4 AM to the rescue. Maybe rather than a rescue, this could be a death pact for them. They're pushing hard. Yukon's got the grenade. Loki's going for the revive. How good's it gonna be?
Just short. Staying alive on the move. 48 seconds until they do need to start really considering where they're going to go here. Loki trying to put up a bit of a wall. 4 AM still going to be...
grenade, mampus.
That's very good! Aluka! What an arm on him.
Kobe. Second one's there. Will it confirm it? Of course it does. 2 nades back to back. Loki's fate is sealed. 3 members alive here for 4 AM.
Orang spray tak terangkat weapon. Aku pakai
bit of a
scope.
journey to get to that next circle. It's injected liquid out.
Kadang-kadang dia terangkat, tapi kadang-kadang dekat spectator cam ni dia macam tak nampak sangat ah. The real effect. Kalau kau main betul-betul tengah tembak memang rasa. Ampun kau.
You're feeling better about it, but you're still seeing the pressure that comes in. It's not for free. Liquid has very little to play off. There's a couple of trees here and there, not many hillsides, but Vanguard fighting their way forward as well. They were the ones who were stuck on the outside for some time. CGX were gatekeeping them, but now they fall forward. That southern side, it's still safe, but it's looking scary, the amount of teams that James spotted out one. He knows where they are. He can make that call now.
Let me give the information, but Refund are actually putting a lot of pressure on Liquid. They're trying to get into this circle. They're not in just yet. That rock is not in. They are literally teetering on the edge. James should be potentially maybe getting up here, but the 8 times on that bad boy, try and give them some kind of a pick.
Campur dia punya kill point only dah dari 3,035 point dia.
That back covered gives the information that's
WTSG dah terkeluar. Apa selesa sial OMG. Tak menang hari ni. 400,000 bro.
This could be a massive moment for them. This could push them right up into second. We welcome South George going down so early. Turtle trying to make a mad dash for a line KK. This man is so damn good. No kills this game though. Quiet for him. But the rest of the team are doing nicely.
Honestly, it doesn't really matter at this stage because of the position that they've got. They've stayed in this circle for so long. They haven't had any players drop, I don't believe, as well. James does find a pick. That's massive because now they can eject one from Refund. The other player has to revive him, so that's potentially 2 down for Refund. This will give them the time to reposition.
Ada pasukan Knights kat seberang. Dia boleh flank ke bawah. Knights kat tengah-tengah zone sial.
Trey actually goes down from Scoom. The nades are coming across. We are looking towards this fight. It's OMG looking forward. Goes directly in front.
Oh, yes!
Woo!
What the fuck?
Wakes up and he feels a little hungry here. Next nade to follow. Who's the next victim? High up and over. Balak's on the revive. If that catches him, that could have been huge, but no, they stay alive for now.
Through the smoke, he just... Absolutely no messing around. Wick finds Ghost in the backlines.
That's a third party and a half.
That's opened the door for OMG. That gives them so much more to
work with.
Finds Turtle, knocked and hurt, buries him for 15 points, confirms the kill. Dre onto 4AM CPT. He hits the deck. Liquid, they're on a rotation. They've got the vehicle. This is what they usually do to the Liquid. We want to see they're going to drive into the Knights though, Lauren.
This is so scary now. Knights are on the other side of this. Liquid might have just rolled up. It depends on the angle they have now. Knights are going to be taking a fight. They've got the high ground. Liquid.
Imagine.
Imagine.
Oh! Tak masuk. Kalau dia balik straight masuk.
He's just lobbing them up and over. That one's good.
Oh!
Ibiza! He gets 2!
What the fuck? Ibiza!
Just goes to the side, but now it's going
last hit though.
He is running through it. If he can get down to these guys, if he works out what he has done to them, that is incredible play from Ibiza. That has given Liquid a chance.
Bigger picture, because they knocked Dre so early on, he's bled out fast, he's gone. He's pushed 2 of them downstairs. Ibi, what a god nade. The 2 versus 1 is real.
Yang KK belum keluarkan taringnya tu. Taring singa dia. Oh, Scoom kena tembak. Taring singa dia belum kena keluar lagi.
They're the only other team in the circle right now.
Thank you, Liquid tu lah kacau.
They have to still deal with Refund. They have been a threat in the back lines. James gets spotted though. Now he's noticed. Now they know where he is. The nades are going to come out. He's got no helmet. He's a bit of a walking wounded. He's going to do whatever he can to try and hinder these guys. But he does get knocked. He goes down. It's time to look bigger picture here. Refund under fire. Everyone looking their way. It's 4 AM. It's Refund getting the kills coming down. The nade goes forward, but not too far.
Gila dulu.
Timber kau ada kat belakang. They have the information. They are looking his way. Whether or not he's been copped is a different thing. Samsy's down.
Lion, don't down.
2 players as well. Wick finally confirmed dead. OMG still racking up the points in the back lines. 4 AM, they get 15 and they wipe out Honey Badger Nation. Refund M24 seals Ibit's fate. He'd been pushed up early. So now it literally comes down to the last man standing, which will be Scoom. He's gone. Liquid, they go out in 6th.
I don't know if that's going to push them above Welcome South George either. I think this is enough for them to stay in that second position. Now let's look at who's left in this one. You've still got some of Ghost in here. OMG.
Pernah main Blackshot. Pernah bro, tahun 2009.
Refund. They're the ones in the good spot now. They
Aku main Blackshot tahun 2009.
They have a good position. They have map
control. Aku ada video Blackshot tu. Kalau orang nak tengok lepas game ni aku boleh tunjuk.
Xiaorong needs to crawl up here.
Aku ada pernah buat video black shot tahun 2009 dulu dengan sepupu aku.
Just be potentially outside of the circle here. They'd have to go quite far forward. It's going to do so much damage. It's tanking like a bad man here. He's dead. 2 players remain for OMG. But again, Lauren, does it really matter? They've made it into top 5. And
they are the heavy fraggers here. These are the big boys. You've got Lion KK and Zhao Hai, but McCoy's been in these tunnels the whole time. He's like a little sewer rat down here. He's just sneaking his way around, keeping them guessing. Look at him, he's stayed alive this entire time.
They have to move soon, though, because eventually it becomes mathematically impossible for you to get out of here. The blue will crush in.
It's tagged him, though. He's tagging up players. He's making Knights really uncomfortable.
Push it back, so they know that he has to come out of here. He knows the ball's in the Knight's pocket for now. Meanwhile, up top, booking a grenade. It's probably not going to be good enough. A little bit more to the left would have done enough. It's actually
pretty good.
It bounced. It did all kinds of damage.
Now, Pino, I don't think he knows who he's tagged up or what he's done, but he's got a really nice angle on these guys. OMG going to be holding the line, but there's something to be said about Pika's advantage, and they might just have it. Pino, only level 1'd up, though, but he might get the timing right. He's up and over. Peekaboo, he gets down one. Zhao Hai goes. It's Pino now looking to do some more Lion KK. Turns attention, this man. No, that's a dink and a half. Gonna keep him humble. Gonna look for more, look for the next option. Where's the next player gonna push me from? Where's that next threat available? And he's still on the hunt, on the prowl. Working his way through the smokes, working his way forward. Refund, trying to work out where he's gone, but he's gonna hit the deck and hold his breath now.
It's a beautiful AR as well. Scar, grip. Compensator on the front. Might potentially even kill his own teammate to deny 15 points here if he's nowhere to saving him, which doesn't happen. DJ Chip picks up the 15.
Zhao Hai gone.
You hear the bullets in the back line, red dot in hand. Happy to just let them approach this. He has the side of this circle. He has the side of the hill if they do want to crest it. Able to look up and just see them silhouetting.
Kau main Tam Garina lama babe. Lepas habis ni kita tengok video.
They're just on top of each other. There's 3 layers to this. Lion KK on top, Kramer next in line, and then there's still McCoy down below, if I'm not mistaken. So there is a layer of 3 teams, and then you look at Refund, and they are just taking it all. They have 4 players alive. They have the map in their hands. Lion KK just does not know what he's walking into. He could still be such a threat here, but McCoy, he's got to go through the blue to get out of this. And Knights are waiting with bated breath.
And you look at what they've got as well with the
Refund full team, sial.
A Scar and an AKM. They're happy. Here comes the push though up the hill. Lion KK should be hearing this. He turns around in a pinhead. How many will be able to see? Goes for 1. It's not going to happen. OMG, they go down in 4th.
And now it's Knights and Ghost standing in between Refund and a big victory. And you can see Voxic and Kramer now turning attention. They know they're in trouble here. 3 teams alive, 10 seconds. McCoy needs to make his move, and he needs to make it fast. He might just try and outlive this, try and stay alive as long as he can, because Refund are looking hungry. Look at them swarming the map. Every single angle controlled. Knights cornered. Guns pulled to their chest, praying they get a second to maybe respond to something. But Funky M, he's going to be just watching from above. The moment this moves, McCoy is done for. He is dead in the water. Voxic and Kramer, you know your time is limited. You need to make your move now. McCoy is done. It's down to 2. Voxic will take DJ Chip. But Funky M, he's so close by. The nade comes out, and the blue will still continue to work forward. That could be a confirmed kill. It is. 2v3 now. Funky M waiting on the push. Angle now being held. Free fire comes out. Mio holding it. He gets 1. No. The trade hits Funky M. And it is Refund. Bringing the audience to their feet and getting that win on the board.
The old bait and switch. Funky just drops down from above and nails them both to seal the win. Incredible work from Refund. They kept 4 alive until the very last circle. Don't get me wrong, the Knights, they managed to scrape another 15 points in the bag. Only 3 kills, but certainly a second placement. We'll be able to jump them up the rankings a little bit more. McCoy, who else? The Snake himself downstairs, bagging 3rd position. OMG though, 4th again.
They're still up there.
Keeping in the top 10 for these guys, all they need to do. A little bit unfortunate for Liquid. Ibby's grenade. The 2 that he got in the tunnel were absolutely fantastic. It was rather disappointing.
For the fans. He's playing the audience.
426 view kot 7 tahun lepas video ni. Ni account second aku, Magnubium. Kalau kau nampak ada muka aku masih kecil tu. Video ni aku upload 26 November 2010. Masa tu aku form 4. Inilah video aku. Ni aku lah. Aku tak kira. Sorry lah, zaman dulu recording super tai tu.
Before the story begins, is it such a sin for me to take what's mine until the end of time? We were more than friends before the story ends, and I will take what's mine. Great for God would never design. Our love had been so strong for far too long. I was weak with fear that something would go wrong before the possibilities came true. I took on possibility from you.
Tak ada apa-apa kan. Aku tak gaming, aku tak fokus. Bapak aku memang marah. Ni aku main kat magazin aku, record. Aku pun tak suka dulu ada benda host change ni. Macam kalau kau host, kalau tukar, dia berhenti sekejap game. I know it's not your time. Bye-bye.
And a word to the wise, when the fire dies, you think it's over, but it's just begun. My heart, at least for the most part. 'Cause everybody gotta die sometime. We fell apart. Let's make a new start. 'Cause everybody's gotta die sometime.
Tapi okey lah, tahun 2010 aku form 4 dah edit benda ni kira gempak dulu.
But baby,
kasih aku dulu lah, kasih aku 2 tahun lagi tua dari aku. Oh, 70k view tu bukan sebab video ni. Oh, nak tengok video lagi satu tu aku gaduh. Video tu buat aku famous masa kat sekolah dulu. 70 video tu ada 73k view. Mana aku? Masa kecil, zaman sekolah aku minat band nama Avenged Sevenfold. Kau pernah dengar kan? Avenged Sevenfold. Dulu aku pernah pergi konsert dia masa Baby don't cry. Izu Nabi. Okay, lepas ni aku baby, don't cry. Nama aku Mac Medium. Nama cousin aku Mac Medium. Atau ada lagi seorang kawan Cina gitu, ni Mac apa lah nama semi. Semua ada Mac, ada Puan, lepas tu nama tim kita Delirium. Dulu sunat sini semua budak-budak yang kawan-kawan rapat aku semua main Flashon. Kau pergi sisi bye, main Flashon. Ramai-ramai, malam-malam. Lepas tu cuti sekolah. Video ni yang buat aku famous kat sekolah tu. Sebab video ni aku kena panggil dekat Pemenang tu. Sebab dulu tajuk video ni nama sekolah aku Gangster. So SMK PU3 Gangster. So macam guru besar kau siapa yang upload video ni sila delete. Apa?
Oh, video kau.
Aku kan tunjuk kat aku punya viewers, aku punya account YouTube lama tu. Kan aku ada video black shot semua kan.
Ah, ya tu.
Lepas tu ada video viral.
Gaduh dah surau.
Mesti pernah posting mata-mata PS kan, betul tak? Aku pernah posting main black shot dengan Fakarudin ni, ada dalam channel aku sekarang.
Yeah boy, kita orang lama.
Kita orang sisi bro.
Kau tahu apa?
Pergi sekolah, pergi surau, pukul, buat video.
Kita terpesong sih. Come on, orang ni menang lah.
Dah boleh bet?
Belum.
Bet tinggi kau berapa sekarang? Aku dah 165, 166.
Itu orang fokus 120.
Kacau. Punya high last kali aku post 165.
Tinggi ya kau.
Kepala otak kau, kau akan 70 lebih. Kau aku ada 110.
Air lagi tinggi tu.
Air dah dekat 108 lah.
Ya.
Asyik dulu 185 masa sekolah.
Ya bodoh. Makan apa je.
Sama tinggi dengan Ronaldo, bodoh 185 kan.
Bodoh.
Ada Fakarudin ke tu? Ada dalam channel aku. Inilah channel aku. Nama lagu tadi tu kan, A Little Piece of Heaven ni. A Little of Heaven. Nama band dia Avenged Sevenfold. Sekejap aku type. Kita orang layan Avenged Sevenfold. Nampak sangat fake. Nampaklah fake bro. Kalau betul-betul aku dah tibai lah budak-budak tu. Apa je lah video aku. Tapi aku nak tunjuk kau video F9 Blackshot. Cousin aku legendary 5. Tapi kan dah kahwin. Kau dah tengok video Arif? Okay.
Belum tu apa?
Video Blackshot dia. Rift 9 from MY server.
Oh dia ada YouTube lah.
Ada tu. Kita orang semua dulu ada tu buat video. Aku buat video sebab dia buat lah. Dia nak lagu Indestructible.
Power macam main dulu.
Tak tunggu, ada dia. Oh ada. Ada tapi Dia tak ada dekat dalam. Dia ada je kat dalam surau tapi dia tak ada dalam video.
Arik power je tu. Dia carry juga tu.
Dia reaction lah tu Arik.
Ya tu.
Kata nak lagi dia yang buat aku main game. Oh my god. Oh dia tulis oh my god. Sekarang dia tak game, dia dah kahwin. Masuk kan?
Bisa. Apa screen ke apa dia? West screen. Siapa? Oh ya. Yeah. Dia dah ada PC belum? Dah siap PC ke?
Find me in MY server bitches. Kata Arik dia punya belagak tu pasti ada tau dari dulu.
You can do against these other teams here because they're
Aku like sekali video ni. Komen sikit.
Ya dia lupa tu video.
Legend.
Tok nama dia pun Indestructible 92.
100 or a bit less than 100 points. So look at her in the runner-up for that second spot. They're doing a great job.
Dia buka lagi ya kau ni.
Fighting toward the end. That stayed together didn't work out. They split up badly.
Aku komen legend.
Bad game.
Agent Boskur.
That's right, out in 17th WTSG, not the best of roads for them in that game at all. What kind of really went wrong for them, Avenger? Did you manage to catch what really went down on their side?
Well, I mean, I saw Larsen go down to Refund first of all in a position like that. He shouldn't have been out there. I feel like kind of off position. I'm not sure if he wanted to scout it or what he wanted to do. His teammates were on the back there, but of course we saw Refund in that position. They had the hill just south of Yasnaya, kind of goes out in a U-hill, we kind of call it, and then eventually they push in towards further in the zone. Welcome to Southjust. They managed to get that hill from them. Could have turned out completely different, but he pushed out alone, unfortunately, and the other three team members, they stayed on the hill and kind of tried to go in further from the west, and they came in very late, unfortunately.
This particular circle, it's always difficult pushing, especially through that.
Wait,
you know, there's going to be riddled with teams, even in 16-team lobbies.
OMG, yeah.
Spot just around the shelter area is very, very down.
OMG, let's go.
But he might have done a little bit of a mistake there as Gaxi wanted to get the revenge kill against the enemies that killed his IGL.
Kau tengok tadi spray lain KK, bapak sharp je. Ya tu.
That left Vard in a bit of a difficult spot. He did have the circle for a few times, but because the circle was a bit open towards where he was, it was easily captured.
And I want to ask you about shelter finishes, because it's not something we really get to talk about too much with kind of the multi-tiered situation going on. Obviously, a one member of Ghost Gaming all the way down there. How do you play out a shelter finish, especially if you're inside the shelter on that kind of multi-tiered finish? What are your thoughts?
I mean, around the shelter, you really got to see when it's a 50-50. When you see you have half of the circles in the shelter area, you're always going to have a lot of teams because, as you said, you can be inside, you can be on top. And when you see later circles coming to that, you kind of bridge onto it. Then you also have a huge amount of area that stay behind there. But what I personally like is also to be kind of waiting until I see if the zone goes north, because then you have to cross in an open area. There's a lot of roads. And Liquid, they stayed there. They knew up in the north. They were only 3 teams in the north, and then the rest of the teams again in the south. So a lot of teams kind of colliding on top of each other, and that's also why OMG they lost so many members.
Yeah, that's it. And in shelter, you always want to be the last one pushing out. It's such a difficult area. So playing from underneath, making sure that nobody's actually blocking the burnt down UAZ or any kind of vehicle is actually very important, making sure that no one's actually taking your exit path. And then playing the last one, perhaps even playing the blue, even for a late circle, you want to be the last one coming out of shelters. And the Knights kind of attempted to do that. They were the last ones coming out of shelter. Unfortunately, they couldn't get better in the second, but it's great And the way they
Tu aku
played,
dengar
actually,
Rip
Zelda
ada
was
YouTube
very
channel
good
nama
to me.
Tapian
After
tau.
2 knocks from a beat and
Apa sih? Aku masuk tapian je.
Tai lah.
Lepas tu,
So the shelter area, the knights are really good at that.
A lot of spots showing up for
Tu
Liquid
cakap dalam
as
channel
well
tu ada
as
kita
our
orang tengah
Chinese
main
fans
drift
here.
basikal
And
dekat
one team
sihir
from the
semua.
Chinese region that we didn't talk too much about, they got themselves 10 kills during that
Lepas tu ada
game.
aku dengar Rip tengah main GTA, San Andreas, main gitar, macam bodoh sial.
ada lagi yang video.
Ada nanti aku cari link.
Kind of somewhat late in a good position and they could kind of collide
Aduh,
on the
zaman
back.
kecil-kecil
As
aku
we
dengan
see,
Rip
they
pernah ke
found- they
upload
third party
ni.
who came in the back to make sure they could get a lot of kills there and a good positioning from them as well.
Third partying indeed seems to be the way to go.
Yep, seems that way, seems that way. A couple of our teams came in late towards the circles. We had Xanadu, we had Chiefs, AHQ, and Navi. Navi not having the easiest of games there as well, so a bit rough for them considering they were so high up on the table in day one.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a killer of a game for them. They're not going to be feeling well after this one. It's all about how they come back, though. They're Russian boys. They're strong gentlemen. You know, they got the big pants on them, so I'm pretty sure they're not going to be too affected by this one, and they will come back strong. I do believe
Bapak
this was
legend
a bit of a
bodoh
difficult
video
rotation. They
sniper
stopped by the
Arik
road, they run
lama
this top
gila
two
babi
on these type of
sial.
circles, and then following
Yeah,
Dah
later
dekat
in the circle,
dah 8 tahun
they
tu.
worked,
Yeah, tu.
by a lot of teams. So
Dah 8
top
tahun dah
players,
kami main.
perhaps they can learn from this.
Dan pakai phone apa? Aku pakai OnePlus. Oh, macam mana kenal kau? Dan apa nama second account YouTube kau tu? Mac Nubium. Sorry tak baca komen.
You stay on the edge
Ya, aku
until
type
you
Mac
see if the
Nubium.
zone heartstrings because then you know the majority of the players in the team
Macam mana kenal Kokan? Kokan yang macam ni lah. Ya, aku pause je lah. Kokan ni, aku tengah live satu malam tu. Tengah main PUBG dengan Alip.
Alam.
Dengan Blade. Dengan Blade dengan Bamcuk.
Pertanding Jaya.
Main lah. Macam biasa, aku masa tu ada dalam 20 lebih viewer je. 20 lebih sub je. Tengah main lah. Dengan Blade, dengan Bamcuk main bodoh-bodoh. Viewer pun yang tengoknya aku dengan seorang lagi. So 2 viewer je. Seorang lagi ni nama dia apa lah dulu. Ni kan daripada Stalker Area 51 punya channel lah. Tapi masa tu Stalker dah kena ban, dia dah terlepak channel aku. So aku main je. Sekali Mr. Kokan ni, dia buat stream raid. Basically dia tengah live, dia pergi stream orang lain tengah live, dia bawa viewer dia. So Kokan masa aku tengah main, dia datang stream aku, dia bawa viewer dia semua. Macam dia tolong macam naikkan aku lah, macam bagi orang kenal. So itulah besarnya Kokan dekat hidup aku. Besar agak lah role Kokan ni. Sebab dia yang banyak tolong kat YouTube. Tapi dia kata macam ni je lah aku boleh tolong, yang lain kau pandai-pandai usaha lah. Macam okay, aku dah okay. So macam tu lah cerita aku dengan Kokan. Kami tak kenal pun dalam real life, tak pernah jumpa semua. Cuma macam kenal kat cyber ni, aku ada add dia kat Steam, kita orang pernah main PUBG semua sekali. Macam tu je kenal Kokan. Tapian 40. Aku dulu. Baik. Aku dah jumpa tu. Aku dah jumpa tu Arik punya ni.
Ya, dah jumpa.
Ni kita masa aku kecil tengah main GTA. Aku pernah buat liquid dia dengan dia. Tak, zaman 2007 aku dah shuffle tu. Bodoh lagu Breaking Free. Bodoh, ni masa aku kecil tau. Ni aku. Kat belakang ni Adam tu adik aku. Shuffle. Kau tengok tu video ni.
Hantar aku link.
Ganten tu.
Nanti aku tengok.
Bodoh aku dengan Arik masa kecil sial.
Gaming taking the 2 first wins, they doubled their points. They're also getting into the top 8, making sure that they get more money. So everybody's fighting to make sure they get more money at this point.
And that's important because every 4 spots you're able to move up in the standings.
Bodoh, aku
You're
masih kecil
effectively
buat
doubling your money up
bodoh,
until the point where it gets like through 6 and onwards, and then things
Shuffle
really
aku
start up. So there's still a lot to play for here.
Jalan
Do
bila
the
dapat.
same as they did in TPP, and they come strong the second day. Of course, the second place is definitely a potential for themselves. They have to continue with the smart rotations that they had in TPP and do that little golden dance that they normally do. And this time do it better. And when they breach into
What's
the
up,
circle,
Smash?
you have to make sure that they hook it right.
Time tu pun aku baru kenal kau. Yes. Aku
Obviously,
pun
I
join
would
those spam
highlight
kunyit.
someone like
Yes,
From
spam
PM
kunyit dia
there,
panggil.
take a good angle.
What up,
Only
Dan?
saw
Dah
the
makan
kills
belum?
coming
Dah,
in from them.
Kaziu.
They got
Thanks
9
for
kills
asking.
overall in that round.
For me, Mio
Nak
is,
link
one
kat
of
tu,
the
link
top
ada,
fraggers
Sarul
and
kasi.
best players. I like his aggressive playstyle.
Gambar apa tu?
We've seen it in the regional
Gambar
qualifiers
video
as
aku
well.
masa
Nice kills with the growth,
masa tahun
aggressive
2007
movement, nice
aku
push
dah
to
start upload video
control
dekat
the
YouTube.
circles and like
Tapi
to
video
push it.
bodoh-bodoh ha.
That's a great thing.
Aku
Maybe
dengan
it's
cousin
Mixie, and
aku
I don't know
dulu.
what Mixie told the boys today or how he trained them last night either, but it does look like he's doing a great job here. Refund Gaming are able to show up real nice and cool.
Yeah, Mixie effectively almost their 5th member for Refund Gaming. We actually started playing in the Charity Showdown, and it's, you know, overall having more minds than just the 4 alone really helps on out. But thank you very much, gentlemen, as we are ready to go. It's our penultimate game, the second last game here of PGI 2018. Let's head over to the commentary team.
You know, it's almost sad that it's about to be over, but it's a beautiful time because now everyone has nothing to lose. Jump in there, find as many kills as you possibly can and make the last run for the top 3 positions. Still a lot of money, even if you can't claim number 1, that may belong to China, but everything else is still up for grabs.
Well, it looks like that spot for number 2 and number 3 is very contested right now. WTSG, Liquid, and everyone's coming up behind them right now. So, Toby, this is a situation where these guys really are playing for pride, trying to get into that top 5 position. You just heard Martin say it. There's still a lot of money at stake. And for these guys, it's all about the competition. Liquid had an opportunity to make something happen last game. I would have liked to see, again, Martin mentioned this on the analyst desk as well, that when he hit that nade, that they come up, collapse on his position, give him a little bit of support, but they had lots going on, lots to manage. So for Liquid, they have some momentum, they have the ability. Can they climb into that 2nd or 3rd spot?
Yeah, it's that beautiful time when you can sit there as an observer and see everything that's playing out around. It's like, you can push this, you can go for this, this is the opportunity. And it just doesn't happen. And they don't know it, they don't know what we know. But we are watching the entire drop already done, the circle has been planted, and we are pretty well northwest. The river will cut this circle in half.
Liquid actually hanging on to that 3rd spot right now. They do have a bit of a gap behind them. About 400 points separate them for 4th place. So now it's trying to catch WTSG.
Yep, that's only 180 difference.
That's not a lot to do really. So for WTSG and even for OMG, who's had such a great, amazing, world-class tournament so far.
Yeah,
they do have the ability to clinch this very easily in this game, but it's not over yet. WTSG, we've seen yesterday, OMG got 800 points in 1 round.
Sebelum ni memang tak pernah kenal dia.
So WTSG has their
Sebab dia memang buat stream Mobile Legends.
That was their last round of yesterday. That's why you never want to cut anybody out. But yeah, 800 points, sure. OMG get last position. They just run themselves over with cars, and anything is going to be possible in this game.
Relax, go out for a smoke, maybe. You know,
that's all we can hope for, at least. But with this northern circle, not a lot of teams are already in established positions. This is going to be that interesting contest as well. That's going to happen around Pollyanna. Team Liquid are not alone over there, and there's going to be a lot of congestion coming in through the eastern side. Again, I feel like we had this very similar circle yesterday, and the bridge points became the real critical points for contesting.
And really, that's all about map control in this circle, where you can grab onto one of those many important compounds. You can already see a couple of teams headed center trying to get that self position early. But yes, grabbing onto a choke point, using that map control around the river is very important to make sure that you don't have a ton of enemies flooding around you in the mid-game. And for all of these guys, especially if you're coming out of Yasnaya, you want to try and grab a center spot early. But for Liquid, they have a long loot phase ahead of them. They want to be as ready as possible. They want to be ready to defend all those coming for that 3rd position.
Yeah, these loot phases actually appear to be really easy for all teams. We had no one run over by early vehicles. We've had no teams really drop right on top of each other. Everyone spaced out. As always, South George is a little bit more clustered than normal, but it's not any team looking for the blood just yet. It's all going to be about the choke points and the movement up. And coming in as Myth make their way over the bridge for the first time.
OMG opting for the split strategy. Gold holding on to this Novo region, we've been seeing them there all tournament long.
Tapi aku rasa next competition memang aku nak buat satu land
but for OMG, they're holding onto a split strategy around the
Tengok ada
southern
orang main
portion of the
liquid ni
main
daripada
island.
TPP.
They do have to get through Ghost and
Sebenarnya
Cheeky, but we haven't seen
4
OMG
AM ni
taking too
kalau
much
sebelum
pressure
ni
in
military
rotation,
dah kalah
and that's
tengok
been very important for them translating that success into the mid and late game.
Yep. Liquid's actually making their movement out too. They're leaving Pollyanna
Harus
to
tak kena tak bro, dah lama.
probably going to take those buildings on the hillside
Bukan
they've
kawan
taken
kau ke?
previously.
Bukan kawan bro.
Right now that northeastern circle
Sekarang dah kawan
is
lah.
very, very barren.
Kawan cyber lah, bukan kawan macam dalam dunia sebenar. Aku tak pernah jumpa Kokan dalam real life. Dalam dunia nyata hidup aku tak pernah jumpa Kokan, tapi memang aku kenal dia kat online je.
And I think that for the Knights, they definitely have that ability to make these last two games huge for themselves if they manage to use that utility.
Sekarang kami kawan lah, tapi sebelum ni memang kita tak kenal. Macam senang cerita, aku dengan Kokan ni tak ada pertalian, macam tak kenal langsung, tak ada kawan, kenal. Itu dia jumpa aku, kenal macam tu. Kau memang tak ada macam mutual friend apa, tak ada.
Looks like Liquid actually went a little bit deeper in. They went to the southern side of the shooting range, which is just up on the hill. And this brings them quite close over towards Myth, who already did their early rotations. And this is that congestion I was talking about. There's not that many great compounds up there. And it looks like Myth as well as AVG are already playing both of the two critical ones in the middle of the circle.
Not surprised to see Liquid centering early. It's a conservative strategy. They're trying to hold on to their position on the leaderboard. And now they find themselves kind of surrounded with Myth, but it's not too big of a worry. It looks like they have at least a little bit of a setup here. They have all men on deck. And for Myth, they haven't been having a great time in team fights, and going up against Liquid would be pretty difficult this early.
Yeah. Savage got their long run. They're going to be staying around Milta for a while. They are still looking to get themselves better on the board. 3 kills against all of their players for a ranked 19. It's a savage position in the group, you could say.
Tough. That's very tough for them. 19th spot, 3 kills, not a lot going on for them. But now it's OMG in transition. Zhao Hai is trying to sneak past Sexy Pig.
Yeah, if Sexy Pig can connect on that one, then a lot of these teams are starting to actually breathe a sigh of hope that OMG will be in trouble. Those early kills make it difficult for OMG to do this 2-2 split that they've been so good at. WTSG are in as well.
Looks like a 3-1 for now. That is a scout maneuver for
berapa
Zhao Hai trying to grab a center
Kokan nak cerita
spot.
aku berapa dia dapat sebulan semua, tapi aku tak nak cerita aku
it not coming south again.
Tapi senang
So
cerita
if it does
daripada
shift south once again, it's going to be hard to get across those choke points more than once. They want to avoid that.
Kokan ni disponsor oleh Orange.
HQ have already come over.
PC dia tu sponsor, dia ada satu PC sponsor.
Rather difficult when Gaxi's got the line. Not just getting the knock, but getting the kill onto M4.
Nice pick up there.
Dia dibayar oleh Garina lagi sekarang tak silap aku sebab dia ada jadi Free Fire punya duta ke apa aku lupa.
Gaxi doesn't have any line of sight on them currently.
Banyak Kokan ni banyak
AHQ is going to want to back
sign
this off and not
apa
take any more casualties this early.
Yeah, they'll take a couple of shots, but they will get away
Aku
at the
tak tahu,
same time.
tapi
You had
memang
Myth
masuk lah
and Team
senang
Liquid
cerita.
engaging themselves. Yep, that's great craftsmanship, is what that is.
A really well-built fence.
So this is that myth
situation. Pernah sekali tanya aku, aku nak keluar duit daripada
mainly because you've just got
Nepal
this
ni memang
huge
kena
hill
tolak,
right behind you, and that's what Liquid are trying to make the most of. But once the knock does come,
Myth is separated as
Liquid
well.
will have to push it to get him down.
Myth is separated, so it looks like if they do want to put pressure on it, they definitely can. Pure Boy taking a shot there, jumping back. HQ still trying to find a home. They're going to duck away from CGX.
Yeah, already on the run. Actually, they're getting out for the moment, so Pure Boy with the mini. I don't know if he saw it through the foliage. He's got some personal connection with that car, coming back to check and see if it's okay every couple of seconds.
Kalau kau nak tahu sponsored by Orange Esport.
But AHQ with their 1 player down don't really want to get into huge
Kalau kau tahu Orange,
engagements.
CC Orange juga. Dia yang sponsor Kokan.
Knights are making their rotation, so that northeast of the circle I said was clear before. No longer clear. 4 AM's already bailed out of Pollyanna too. CGW will be a little bit late in, but they are still inside the circle where they are.
OMG opting for a long rotation around the outside, taking the Georgia Bull Bridge going south and north. That'll avoid that congestion and center. OHM under pressure early.
He is just 1 player. TMH surrounded by gates. He goes inside the house and, well, Mortify knows exactly where he is, and Exco. He'll get the knock and the kill. TG take the compound.
That center area now starting to get very dense with players. Most everyone has made their way across the river. Na'Vi actually getting intermingled with OMG in rotation. Not opting to stop. I think OMG is going to take a little bit extra time to loot. Maybe grab some of those extra meds, extra grenades they've been wanting. Looks like Knights have a line of sight on CPT.
The extra forces are coming in right past CPT.
Malam dia dapat
straight past him.
One more shot and he'll go down. Luckily, he'll be able to get away.
Texas can't connect. CPT goes to the compound that Liquid were able to hold up yesterday. Speaking of Liquid, Texas getting knocked in Knight style. Texas with that scout roll, getting picked and dropped.
Liquid has the high ground on them. The Knights do have a decent compound, but they didn't lose. They didn't get there unscathed. Looks like Ibiza is going to back this off. Liquid, again, just more concerned about map control, trying to hold on to their center spot. They know that there's going to be a lot coming center. They have the shooting range hill relatively sewn up, but the Knights have this low ground position. They have the ridge to work with, and they're just going to let Texas go for this round.
Yeah. As long as no one can reach them with their bullets, and that's a very, very long way. Even on the map, you don't see the line reaching the entire distance.
We've seen that a lot from Texas going down early. He did go down in the tunnels last game. That didn't kind of break it open. I thought that the Knights would maybe want to pressure OMG from below. Difficult maneuver to make, but if it's anyone to do it, it would be the Knights. But Texas going down this early doesn't really leave them with a lot of options.
Light
on the defensive.
Half grip or light grip? Bagi aku Fi, half grip untuk spring.
Down the tunnel is like, okay,
light grip tu untuk tapping. Kau macam tembak satu.
Don't go.
Macam contohnya kalau kau ada SKS kan, kau pakai light grip.
It looks like OMG
Jangan
have taken
pakai
over Georgia Paul now.
half grip. Kalau kau tengah pakai M4 Scar ke apa dia, untuk spray kau pakai half.
OMG is actually one thing I've
half
noticed
grip
is
tu
they
untuk
extend their
spring,
loot phase.
ya lightweight tu
You have one player
lebih
holding a
kepada
choke on the
tapping.
north side of
Tapi
the bridge
sebenarnya
while the
boleh
rest
je
are
nak spray
kind of
semua.
trash looting in South George by themselves. OMG is going to pile up
Ada
those nades,
pattern
pile
yang
up those
berbeza
meds, carry as
bila
much
kau
as they
spray.
can into the late game. OMG's been so good at following up on their kills with grenades. They do a ton of grenade damage, some of the highest in this tournament. They have Savage coming along behind them. It looks like Savage is going to go completely conservative, hold on to the edge at the very bottom by Gatka, way away from the rest of these teams.
Yeah, they may hope for a bit of a back flank into the rear of OMG, but as you said, like OMG, they wait a long time and they don't get involved in the fights until there's like 16 teams left. At which point you just start burning all of your utility, having the nades come out, and that's why they're probably getting in so much damage, because it's only happening when there's a cluster of teams all in the one area. Everyone's within reach of the throw or those medium range bullets.
They play a 3-1 position. It's been very interesting to watch them play in team fights where they have 3 of their members shooting and engaging in team fights with one on flank defense, and as soon as they see a flank coming their way, they all collapse on top of each other and completely avoid any getting separated that you can see from other teams happening. We are going to stay relatively centered in the circle. The northern portion of the play zone is going to be all along the northern side of the map, so that river is still playing a factor. But it looks like now teams are going to want to try and condense a little bit more into the shooting range area.
Yeah, this still looks a little nicer to take, as you said, like that northern side. You've got more hill zones to play with, and even if you are pushed towards the south, you should still have the high ground.
So many players alive here still. Not a lot of the early game action we've seen in other rounds. With 20 teams alive, 77 still remaining. There is a lot happening on the map, and the longer these players stay alive, the harder the next transition is going to be. Team Gates and WTSG both moving directly for center. Looks like WTSG is going to want to grab that spot we use Liquid use.
Time to open up, just let it rip. Aries, does he hit connect? No, he does not. He's got the DP, so they are the car killers.
Malaysia tak hantar team lagi akrab. Malaysia tak lepas.
Aries is down. That's actually Genji Black with the
daripada SEA ni Thailand dengan Vietnam yang dapat pergi. Malaysia tak lepas masa qualifier lah itu.
And they are also playing 3-1 with Balak on the north side.
Wow. Tapi SCP ni dari tadi dah spray tak kena sel. Oh, one more hit.
Well, yeah, he does.
Kena babe.
In the protection of the hut, not quite. It's around the back of the broken car instead.
Savage looking they want to try and support their down teammate.
Oh, this does not look possible.
Yeah, he just can't do it. There's no way to get across there without exposing that head and upper body.
You need to actually burn 2 smokes, and then you only cover one of the line of fires.
I think I would have probably just given up on that. Getting that res is going to be very difficult.
The fuck?
Just dodging a grenade. Looks like Mossy got the
grenade.
He's got the second grenade out. If he hits the corner on the left, it's going to be absolutely perfect.
Mana nak dapat skin kereta tu? Skin tu for now ada dekat dalam PUBG. Kereta yang ada skin api tu, dia speciality dia punya minyak full. Yang masa competition ni dia letak 20 biji extra dahsyat yang ada gambar api tu.
Stuck up on the hill. Cello's going to push it through. So Myth losing Honboya. And this is, remember that split myth. They're 2 and 2, so they're trying to hold onto multiple compounds. And Minoru, okay, Mr. Yoppy from far away gets a shot through the window. So Gates doesn't even get the kill on him.
Unfortunate kill steal there, but it looks like Team Gates will grab control of the compound. Meanwhile, it's OMG under fire.
And this is exactly what the Knights want to have. OMG.
Patut Malaysia hantar kau tu, Dan. Aku tak power tu. Dan tak carry Malaysia.
Where they are, OMG will take the compound.
Aku ada power tu. Aku shroud. Power tapi tak main competition. Korang faham tak? Charity aku pergi lah.
And they have this compound to hold on to as well, so a lucky pickup. But now this edge strategy, if the circle shifts again, which it will do very shortly, it might force them off that position and into the Knights.
OHM, they are in the worst spot. They are trapped inside of a shack. Colorist is not only knocked but also brought down. And Funky M preparing the nade. He'd have to hit it perfectly in the window, but it won't happen. It's just out the front instead.
Oh, nice
breaks
pressure.
The door, and now using it to flank around the side. The grenade's off target, but there's 2 players in close for refund. And this should be a shooting shack at the moment. Really nice knock, killed, and 1 more to go inside.
Refund did very well to use those grenades to force them out and around that shack. Now the smokes have come out, the defense is there, but all they need to do is wait, pop grenades in this thing. They're going to hear that cook. I imagine Poladero wants to jump out.
Grenade bounced out. Oh, it almost hit him. And Polos made the chance to run out, but it will not be enough. DJ Chip sitting on the tree to the east, able to claim the shot.
That is
as the circle moves once again.
That's an unlucky bounce, but that doesn't do any damage. But now OMG already moving in rotation. Tim korang terpilih memang sponsor. As well as WTSG Avangard
dapat tiket flight ke Berlin, tempat tinggal semua.
Liquid is now going to receive pressure from both CGW and the remnants of
pergi bawa diri, nak pergi bawa duit pun tak apa. Cuma sponsor bro.
Already scouting, finding a spot on the edge of the zone. The Knights in movement.
But they're coming
right
next
to
WTSG.
Naik bukit.
He got AHQ in the middle with a +2 inside the car. Yeah, Eska, that's a steep hill, but it's an easy trip down at least. Especially now the Chiefs have moved off the mountain.
I love the way OMG sends the scout out. They see if there's any pressure anywhere else, and if they can hear shots, you can see Xiaohai now already on the move.
Ada, tak salah aku pernah masuk last.
They're playing very
last com,
carefully.
tu je last. Yang last com juga dia masuk.
But there's no good
Belum ni aku tak pernah nampak le main com, tapi screen memang dia selalu ada. Dia sharp tu main sniper. Aku pernah main screen yang Beta Arena Singapore ke apa tu kan. Ada team Singapore, kena car saya dengan dia. Itu pun kena car dia kan.
Xiaohai, Funky M, he needs to actually get the knock on him. Xiaohai around the corner and into the shooting range.
Oh!
Nowhere he wants to go.
Oh! The fuck?
Xiaohai will die.
Aduh, MG wahal tu hari ni.
Bringing down 1 of the
Teams
number
ada
ones.
AWM,
the rest of OMG have now stopped. They have lost their scout. Now they have to decide how they want to get in. They have HQ to their direct south. Refund has the shooting range. If they rotate the other direction, they'll run into CGX or WTSG.
Macam mana nak belajar dengar bunyi tembak dan kata KN arah orang tembak.
What happened though?
Saga.
What happened?
OMG seorang mati. Accident.
Kena sembuh ke apa?
Dia kena sembuh, lepas tu dia accident motor dia meletup baik.
Tapi dia seorang lah.
Seorang.
They cannot get down the hill easily.
Amirul Reza, kau try pakai setting headphone lain. Kau pakai headphone apa, Amirul? Reza. Dia kalau PUBG ni 7.1 tak function lah, kena pakai stereo. Beli stereo headphone dah cukup. Kalau korang pakai 7.1 dia buat pening. Oh! Wih, kena. Oh, member dia di atas.
It's just a close range. It was from up further on the hill, so they'll knock out Chillo and Mossy. All he can do is just wait and hide.
This is not the game that Team Gates wants to be playing here. Now it's up to Mossy. He knows where his teammate just went down, but there's no ability to trade. There's nothing really gained by taking that fight, so he's just going to have to hide there. Meanwhile, the Knights
OMG loot mana je? Dia jepul.
are now on foot walking into the zone. because it's just too
pada belah
dangerous.
kiri tu
But
lah.
they will just
Tapi 4am sekarang asyik drop ya je
but
dengan
there are
liquid.
still 64 alive here going into minute 19.
Better loot lah.
And they've got to walk uphill from
Dia
that
tukar
position.
stress.
This is where OMG, yes, they were able to capitalize beautifully, sitting in where CGX is.
Bunuh refund, come on 4am. Jangan bagi menang lagi.
Black who were coming in from the northwest during that round, and now it's OMG in the tight spot. They're actually surrounded by 3 squads, and WTSG in a great position on the north side. They're the ones that control the crash. Everyone else must
Babi
come in.
Knights luck gila je.
Completely zoning 2 teams right now, CGX and OMG. They have a very important plane crash spot. And look at this, 4am and Refund sharing a bit of territory. It looks like Refund knows that there might be someone above them, but they don't have a lot of flexibility here. That shooting range area is very dense with players, but the Knights have a great spot. Avangar now moving with 4 right on top of them. And just like that, Honey Badger Nation is going to be the first to try and vehicle rotate, and they're not looking very good. Neither is Myth on the way through.
Yeah, they kind of got themselves trapped now. They don't have the numbers to be strong enough to push on through.
Dapat.
Dre just ripping into Mumino.
Wow.
So AVG, he's a long way
Dia
away.
one tap lah
Nice
semua.
split that normally gives
Macam
AVG the angles.
main single lah.
And Mumino will be put down all the way.
Genji Gold making a very mad dash between teams.
They're going into Honey Badgers.
Yeah, they can see it. There's actually 3 around them, but it looks like there's pressure mounting in all directions. It's going to be Genji Gold going at Honey Badger Nation.
Beli headphone Sadis okey dah. Amirul Sadis tu dalam RM59 dah boleh dapat ah, ada lampu bagai. Waktu pakai kod I love Papa Zaid.
Oh, Silent BT.
Dapat diskaun lagi.
Rotating down the hill, they do have another
Papa Zaid. Papa Zaid 8.
Send one out. They don't have the ability to do 3 and 1, so 2 and 1 is going to be the option. Rio landing a nice headshot.
This is problematic for him, as looks
like going
to work. God V gets dropped down, so Liquid also gets something onto the board. Grenades, it's a long throw. Could be a
Kaboom.
Oh! And 1 and 2.
Ooh, that was close.
Yeah, Pure Boy and Rear, they stay alive. They are in a rough position. Maybe if they can get the knock onto Xiaorong, they can clean up their line, and Pure Boy's looking for it. But Xiaorong behind the rock. And,
way out of cover.
Yeah. I think he's trying to see around the smoke, but here comes the shots from up on the hill. Lion King having to proton down, but these angles are just so good. Even with OMG losing that early play, they've got CGX locked in and basically having the number punch. So aggressive.
Oli, mampus!
And a follow-up grenade. These guys, they're awesome. They're great.
I cannot believe how poised they are in team fights. The way they execute that, they took a ton of damage. But they executed the strategy. They put Silent in the mid ground. They put Xiaorong on the, Lion KK on the top, and Xiaorong pressed right on top of them, and they could not deal with that. CGX had no chance there, even with the advantage.
It looks like AHQ, at least, maybe they have a chance. Lion K a little bit further away from the rest of his teammates who are currently looting. I assume meds as well as some ammunition.
Well, they take the strength of their enemies every time they take them down. They grab their ammo, they grab the meds, they grab the utilities. OMG is rolling through this.
You see Lion K. Wason look down to the other side. He sees Xiaorong on the run, but they're taking bullets from Na'Vi. So AHQ not really find the right line until now.
Itu dia Lion KK!
Tapi kena trade tu. Fuck lah.
HQ, even though they did lose one in.
Oh no. Tapi dia punya boxing terus sapu je game. 180 terus spray macam tu. Wih, silent aja tu. Fuck. Fuck. Waktu kena dengan Navi pula. Fuck man.
Him and suffocate OMG. 16th position for OMG.
This is great for WTSG.
Yep, they still got a decent amount of kills though, so there's still some points going to be chalked up on the board, but not from the positions.
You can hear the murmurs in the crowd, a little concern there with OMG going down so early. They still have a massive lead.
Kalah sebab last team tadi menang refund tu.
Ya tu. Macam yang lower bracket.
Betul lah, skateboard dia dah mumpat.
Well, they're both trying to control the north. WTSG's got the northwest, Liquid has the northeast, but they don't really have the circle as such. Everyone has to come in, and that's where Refund is starting their own push. Maybe going around. Unroot from Black. They're the ones battling on the south side. They finally cleaned up the remnants that was Savage.
The Knights here just trying to get some information. They have a decent spot, decent map control. Genji Gold is right there as well.
There goes Honey Badgers. They're out in 14th.
They would have heard those shots. So now the Knights are aware of the fact that gold is so close to them. WTSG still using this plane crash to try and get into the woods, but they'll have to get through the Knights. They're on their flank. A couple of Team Gates guys there as well, but they're getting awfully close to Team Liquid.
Yeah, I think WTSG is going to be okay, at least with this position. I don't think they want to push it any further, because if they do, as you said, they'll be on top of Liquid. They'll be on top of Team Gates. Do I dare say that, as Mortify's been there for a while now. But gold? Oh, actually, as Myth, that will be removed in 12th position, and it will be gold as well. I thought there was enough players going down there. They're out in 11th.
That alleviates a lot of pressure on the Knights. Now Na'Vi have a clear path into the zone. WTSG has refund completely.
Ada M24
They're
saja.
decide if they want to defend this, but if that happens, Liquid could rotate.
Mew tu shout kat tu sniper.
The southern edge of the zone is a lot clearer. It looks like Ghost have 4 up as well.
It's amazing just that coverage they got. Ghost are all together with those 4 players in the southeast. Is Miyogu really? Is there anything in that health bar?
They will get the kill and they will finish off AHQ, but just like that, they have a path into the zone. Na'Vi rotating that way. That northern end is going to get very messy very quickly, but now look at this. It's WTSG and Liquid.
Larsen's putting down the smokes. He's trying to make sure that Liquid don't have a line of fire into WTSG. Instead, it's over towards the other side of the hill.
Larsen having thrown out. Liquid playing very closely knit here as a team, maybe learning from the last round. They are not going to split out here. They need to use all that firepower and point it in one direction. They did get the res onto Gaxi. Vard and Larsen now throwing out smokes, trying to get away from this pressure. This low bowl is an issue for them.
They have to come in now, refund. This is going to pincer in WTSG. Na'Vi, okay, maybe not. Funky M, they turn their attention towards Na'Vi. They'll get 3 inside the circle. Now make it 4.
Look at this. It's like a 4-way team fight. Liquid WTSG, but there's more to come. Refund does go down.
Yeah, though.
Miracu picking up a kill.
Liquid have such a great line. With that position on the hill, they see down everything the light touches belongs to them.
Uba moving around. He's got a couple of kills, 8 total so far.
Gaxi, not what he want to have happen. Pino will be dropped, and there goes Refund out of the competition in 8.
Liquid's doing a lot of damage to WTSG, who's now finding themselves in a pinching situation. Gaxi down again. So quick. He's going to go out here. There's nothing they can do. Now still 3 up, but now they have Na'Vi pushing.
And Na'Vi is on the way. The grenades keep flying. Molodoy able to knock out Miracu. That one looks a little short from Vard. He's got a second one ready. He gets the nade off before he'll get knocked.
WTSG is in a huge amount of trouble. Na'Vi taking them down.
That
Not
easy
what
though.
they needed to have happen. They were sitting in 2nd position at the start of this round. 5 kills is what they've claimed. But does WTSG always do this? There was 1 player left alive. This time it's Larsen.
WTSG needs to hold on to this. Looks like Liquid is going to take the advantage in this round. Still 4 strong, 7 kills. Not a lot of downs happening on them just yet. They have the meds, they have the ammo. Now, do they have the ability to translate this into endgame success? Na'Vi backing away, rotating against South into the zone. Now, just like that, Dre, the last man standing for the Knights, has to defend against a full 4-strong Na'Vi.
Yeah, that's good luck is the best thing you could say at that point. He's taking fire from a long way, so he's going to grab the UAZ and try and get out, but a sexy pick with the number. That car starting to smoke up into Na'Vi.
Bye.
Will be the man to get the kill for Genji Black.
Tough call there for Dre, having to use that US to move away, but Genji Black also moving through the zone. There's actually a lot of teams with a lot of strength here. Avangar holding a split in the center and on the edge, but now the Na'Vi sexy pig, and he will get the first one down.
That's where you need to have the cover, at least some suppressing fire, and that's what they will do. Smokes out, take away the vision that is there for Black, and they're pushing with 2 while they try and rest with the other.
Esther holding the flank defense on the low side, Grammatic on the high side. The res does come out very quickly there. Nice team play from Genji Black.
Good from Na'Vi too. They get the pick up themselves, use the smoke to try and cover their right flank, and then they back off to the left, and that's where most of the grenades were actually flying from Black to the other side, but now they've worked it out. Molodoy, 1 to hit, the 2nd to finish. No, the range is too far.
Very close. Lots of pressure coming on Na'Vi, and now it looks like Genji Black going on the offensive. They want to take this to Na'Vi.
Through the smoke is dangerous, maybe close enough for a couple of grenades, but they're doing it blindly. They don't know any of the positions of Na'Vi. We've had a fantastic round. That's 10 kills on the counter.
I'm surprised to see Na'Vi backing off this fight. They might not want to take the low ground position. The circle's at their back. They also they have to get into the zone.
They need a fantastic round. They need the kills as well as the zone position. Team Liquid, with their 3 players left alive, is Larsen. Enjoying, 4 players just walking over the hill. Wait for it. Wait for a long time. Scoom is looking the wrong way.
He can see all of them. He can see all of them.
Yep, but he has to crawl in a little bit further. The circle's going to start chunking him, and he'll have to stand up and then throw back down again. Does Scoom see it? Yeah, he turns around. WTSG in 6th position.
Scoom dia jaga backstep ke Scoom. Kerja dia.
Oh my god, he saw all 4, and that's what players wait for. If you see a player snaking and he sees a player, if he only sees one, he doesn't want to shoot because he doesn't know where the rest are. He saw all 4 Team Liquid players. That was a huge reprieve for Team Liquid, and they're going to continue in this game.
We are playing Defilade only. The circle has moved away from the compound, so AVG will have to come off the eastern side. No team is in there apart from Keen, and he's not really a team.
Banyak sebelum 10. The whole team.
Navi has a lot of kills here, but they're getting picked apart from Sexy Pig and the rest of Gen G Black. Chromatic getting down Uba as well. They've already lost 1 player. This is great for Team Liquid, but Gen G Black going full aggressive. iLame in the prone position.
Wait for it, close range. Unroot #1 looking for Sexy Pig. He can't. Unroot on the edge of the blue.
Wide open now for Liquid.
Yep, they're opening up. Navi has been eliminated. They got wiped so quickly by Gen G Black. And Liquid don't have the angle. Black is still under cover of the Defilade.
8 kills now, still holding on.
So Avanga, they're the ones who will have to come out of the compound, but they have at least the hillside to work with, but it's Ghost who are opening up now. It is a massacre. There's still 1 kicking. They're trying to put them all down. As Ghost now up to
Ghost dah dilepak je tu. Tak ada orang kacau.
4 teams up. Liquid now getting involved as well as Ghost revealed their own position.
Samty does go down. They do have Profi down in the blue, so they will likely secure that kill as well. So that's going to be 1 for 1 in the initial trade between Team Liquid and Ghost. Meanwhile, Avangar kind of on the edge now, getting pressure from Ibiza.
Yeah, they actually have a real hard time getting out of that compound. It is an open field. They'll get into the eastern side of the circle. But Liquid, they control the north, so much of it, but do they really? How much of that do you want to control? You don't have a great line of fire. Ghost get the rest of them in.
They're all coming to support Ibiza. They know that Avangar has not a lot of maneuverability.
Great line around the back of the tree, but he couldn't get the instant knock.
There's 1 on Anuctive. Meanwhile, Sexy Pig's been eliminated, and now 1 more down. Scoom also down. Ghost just like that, grabbing an advantage.
They got 2 standing. It's the same for both Ghost as well as Liquid. That grenade looking to finish off the rogue AVG player.
They got to finish it fast and help Scoom.
Perfect. Diaz is gone.
Nice looking nade. The initial med coming out. Scoom is only on his first down, so lots of flexibility there. Looks like Turtle also being rezzed. And just like that, we're back to it.
Ghost menang Ghost menang
Yeah, there's no way AVG are going to be able to res there.
Oh, ikut dapat circle.
And Ghost already know exactly where he is. They've been throwing nades down towards Keen, and they'll shoot him around the trees.
Nice.
And it's just down to Ghost.
3 on 3, bro. That's 3 on 4. That's on 3.
With 3 players. Everything's even Stevens.
Ghost has to come up this ridge. Liquid already starting to probe with smokes and grenades, trying to take away as much vision on the flanks. Balak is down, but they have grenades coming out now. I'm not sure if any of those are live.
Ghost menang
They all open up on him, but now it's James and Scoom coming in from the higher side. Balak is in the middle of the smoke. I thought it was Liquid who were the kings of the smoke.
He moved right past
the grenade first. Balak has actually done a complete flank in through the rear. Maybe not so.
Oh, god damn.
James will be brought down. Scoom, he still can't see him. Balak is the king of the smoke.
Ghost gaming,
3 now on 1. Scoom in the last position. Balak does get the med. He finds him.
Runs out the side, but it's
Balak.
Balak. Perfect flank and
Ghost Gaming taking the 3rd game.
In our second last round of the entire competition, 14.
What a GG!
You can see the Profi sign. That's his girlfriend there standing with it. So very happy with that round win. You can see the Ghost supporters there as well. That was all about that 4-strong push from the south of the play zone. They stayed around the ruins, and then they made ruinous work of all those players around them, but really Liquid played an excellent game as well. But the story there is OMG going down in 16th place.
Buka kasut je main. Macam perang total.
It's kind of funny, like Liquid gained the ground, but you still worry about Welcome to South George. They ended in 6th position. They only got 5 kills. It's points, and it brings you a little bit closer, but the gap is still absolutely massive. But Ghost, they are just turning up a 3rd position in the last round, and now they're able to take a first 6 kills in the previous, and now they're able to more than double that here in the second last round. And they'll at least be happy they're getting closer to that top 4 position, being in the prize money.
That's great for Ghost mentality. They've not had the best tournament. They've been trying their best to get something going, and grabbing a win here in day number 2 of the first-person tournament has to feel good Liquid with the number 2 has to feel almost a little disappointing, however, because they had Balak come all the way through the smoke, and it was just a little bit one after one. You can see here Balak with a tremendous flank onto James, and Skoom could not follow up, just like a ghost disappearing into the smoke.
Oh, and I thought I was the winner of that, Puns. You have now taken the cake. But yes, Ghost, great positioning. Balak's going to enjoy that one, and I love it. Well, that's going to be it for this round, but of course there is one more to go to get our final placements for the first person perspective. Who will it be to take 1 through 4 or all of the slots? We'll find out in just a bit. The grenades off target, but there's 2 players in close for refund. And this should be a shooting shack at the moment. Really nice push. Corner and into the shooting range. Maybe not where he wants to go.
Oh, yang ni.
OMG.
Bodoh je main macam bamcuk. Main macam bamcuk.
Dia tu bamcuk. Yes, bro. Kau memang tinggi gila, Razer. Last game dah, aduh. Nak bet siapa sial.
Awal lah.
MG tak strong tu kali ni.
Tak, sebab dia dah cover points tu. Dia ambil kills tu lah. Tak ada chicken pun tak apa. Diorang 3,000 lebih siapa point diorang.
OMG dia kot. Atau last game ni nak budget dia menang. Aku bet dia last game, kat aku dapat skin. Can do the same.
Friends in tow, but now that western side is going to be a bloodbath.
Knocked out the big man. He needs his teammate to step up. A sexy pick. They push up hard. You know those vehicles make so much noise.
Fuck you lah, kau benar.
Tak ada lak pada babi.
Dia bodoh, barai dia main.
He's got to get out of it. Mumido's trying to line him up too. 4 AM. They're kind of like trapped in the corner.
And to the center, this is the last play zone.
Anyone got a grenade? Live going to see him looking down. And OMG claim first position as China. A little bit.
Benia semalam yang kena rogol cakap.
Oh, awal-awal. Senang kan?
Dua kereta wai dia guna rogol seorang.
Aduh,
Kofi tu orang mana? Tak tahu bro. Yang aku tahu tim dia orang North America, orang US lah.
It is 2 teams. Yaron goes for the kill. Hitting into Texas, but he was outside in the blue. Knights, a huge round for the Pittsburgh Knights.
An eyebrow here in this league. And they've got a lot of room as well. They're controlling the vast majority of the northern side, but welcome South George turn their attention away from Navi. Leans the corner. Good shot from Samti. The nade goes up. Will he die? No. He stays alive, but the push comes in from OMG. Samti on the switch up. DP. He goes down. It's OMG.
Oh, hi, just waiting here. AKM in hand. How many more want to turn up? There's Turtle. Profi as well. Will he fall down?
Xiaohai is playing so well right now. That's 2 huge kills. Silent. He smells blood in the water. And this surely is going to be the closing moment. It is! OMG!
Last free pick.
Last game. Combat apa?
Alpha.
It's as if for a brief moment the Mercedes-Benz Arena became a shell because there's certainly a ferocious Ghost in it. Well played there by Ghost Gaming, able to take that #1 spot here and move a little bit further up the table, trying to grab themselves some very, very important points. Overall, 14 kills coming in for Ghost Gaming Avenger. A big, big win for them in day number 2.
I mean, they said they didn't play their game yesterday. Today they definitely did.
Yep.
They started in 16th. They're now sharing 6th with Knights. So they're getting very close. They're getting into the big money now.
It's good to see them finally show up indeed. It's been a while since we've seen the Ghost Gaming that we believe in, that a lot of people believe in as well. You have to remember though, 2 of these guys weren't available to play the qualifiers, of course, the European gents. Had some visa issues, of course, those were sorted. And we were kind of wondering whether they're not they're going to be back into it. It's not late to be back into it. It's still good to make a show. Of course, you got 10 grand for a chicken dinner, so that's going to be on top of everything else.
Absolutely. And overall, at the beginning of the day, we asked, you know, where's North America? Honey Badger was already up there quite nicely. Where were Team Gate and Ghost Gaming? Ghost Gaming answered in turn, 710 points being racked up for them in that win. Not only the 500 rank points, but 210 kill points with those 14 kills coming in. So a nice spot for them. And as much as we keep seeing Team Liquid in those top spots, trying to move up the positions, Gen G Black also there in 3rd place.
I mean, yeah, they're coming up here. They're wanting, I mean, this is just the proof of you still want to fight for the money. Yeah. The fight is not over yet. Yes, the 1st place might have been solidified now to maybe even cemented completely, but there's still a lot of money to fight for. And the further up the table you get, also for the future, of course, money, but also for the future. You want to prove yourself at this championship.
I mean, a lot of teams even qualifying here for this alone have kind of proven themselves that every little bit extra you can get is strong.
I don't know, man.
Ain't nobody catching up to that man.
Aku rasa dia mengamuk last game, menang
absolutely stomping.
Dia macam menang last game, menang terus semua. Macam tu lah. Sebab dia dah confirm menang lah. Kita tengok lah Lion King 34 kill anjir.
Diorang tinggi pun lebih.
Second place 19 kill. Bapak jauh.
Tu pun OMG kah?
Tu pun budak-budak dia.
Prowling. I think even if we had a day of our FPP, I still don't know if anybody will catch up to that. That's crazy numbers, Avenger.
That's absolutely insane. Honestly, for me, he wasn't even that much on the radar until now. I've been talking about Ruben, I've been talking about GMT, you know, one of the world's best players. Lion, he is the world's best player right now. I mean, 34 kills is undeniable at this type of stage. And
it's all about his team enabling him to get those frags as well, as you can see. They perform really, really well.
Yeah, here is the current rankings going into the last game. 3,375 points. If Team Liquid try and catch up, they would have to have a mammoth game.
Let's be real here right now.
800 point.
Goes outside top 18.
Memang top 5 boleh top 5 tak? Memang top 10
dia tadi nombor 4. Last game tadi Pares sikit nombor 8.
Pan pun boleh bunuh banyak.
Dia bunuh banyak tu. Tadi 8 kill ke apa.
WTSG
and Liquid, I
think this is where the story goes.
And let's be honest, we have had
Liang tu padu aku ikut.
in the past in PUBG.
It's for
somebody to try and take it off OMG. But we have seen kind of budding close locations to be able to kind of reach those.
Nak ambil dia ni last game.
They've got a tall task ahead of them, Avenger.
Tak je OMG.
They are a kind of
back semua OMG malam ni.
team that could potentially do it.
Dia dah boleh back tu.
Honestly, for me here, they played the game I wanted them to play today. Completely different from yesterday. So that's what I'm playing. Another point I want to make. You can really
Dia talak bodoh.
Dia tu. Tak tahu.
Tadi
Dota kau tahu siapa menang. Dota atau CS? Dota atau CS kau tengok map kau tahu siapa menang.
Of course behind OMG because oh my god, what a performance.
CS je ni lepas tu map ni menang dia. Tapi macam ni tak boleh baca tu.
Offer. Tadi Refund Gaming.
Refund menang macam paling cipai Tapi sebab Refund Gaming menang tu tak ada team yang top tu tak naik sangat.
Ya tu.
Aku OMG tu aku OMG je.
Aku OMG je.
Malah nak fikir tu.
Teams like OMG going around up to that top
dah tutup
circle.
tengok.
Admittedly, each time we saw them
Liquid
win,
Mohd Faiz too late bro. Liquid saya dapat nombor 2 bro. Tak boleh dompet Liquid. Malah aku bet dapat nombor 2
dia tu. Nombor 2 dia tu. Ada bug.
Dia tak tahu nak buat apa tau. Dia bukan dia throw, dia tak tahu nak buat apa. Dekat dalam situasi
the game they wanted to execute, they play outside, they play aggressive, they were mobile, they kept their cars until later stages of the game. So they put themselves in positions where you can kind of come in on the less populated side. The west side, extremely populated, but there's at least 8 teams there compared to how few teams there were on the eastern side.
Now, to be fair, they did try to send the scout Xiaohai. He was sent through the shooting range there, died at the hands of Refund Gaming. That was a gruesome death to be had, of course. So OMG realized, okay, maybe we can try the same thing that we've been trying yesterday in these similar circles.
Map ni mana map last game
That was really beautiful. CGX, sorry. But after that one, they got third party by AHQ. And that was really detrimental. And it's really the thing that we said at the start of the day. Third partying is a very dangerous thing.
Yeah, for me, honestly, on top of that, we had Knights up there, we had Navi up there, we had Liquid on top of that, we had Welcome to South Church. We're talking the top tier teams here, kind of gatekeeping them unintentionally, but it's because they came in so late. We would have seen them maybe if they played as aggressive as they did yesterday. So they kind of turned down the clutch a little bit here, but they still want to be there, of course. But I want to see them keep fragging out. As you said, yeah, they've made this so far. We want to see some amazing performance like yesterday, right?
Absolutely. I mean, I think at this point in time, they have just breached past what we saw from Gold in terms of the TPP performance, in terms of points, of course. One thing I want to talk to you guys about is Navi and Avanga, actually, who play those circles very often and are able to get themselves in great spots, and they managed to, again, very strong central positions going in some of those later circles.
What I liked about Navi in particular this game is that they haven't rested on the docks. We've seen this circle before yesterday, but that circle, they've rested on docks, they noticed the circle go north, they had to swim their way through both. Which really was detrimental.
Vanja for life.
But they didn't have any kind of circle strength into where they came from. This time around though, they just waited north side of the Georgia bridges, and then they were able to pierce into the white, to penetrate the white from a much better perspective. Yes, they had some difficult fights. It didn't seem like the team cohesion was there as it normally is, but I like the strategy coming out of Navi for this day.
What do you think about our last game, guys? What are you expecting to see? It is the final game of PGI 2018 very soon. Avenger, I'm going to start with you. What are you expecting?
I mean, expectations is one thing. What I want to see, what I really want to see here is Welcome to South Church clutch it out. I want to see them frag out. I want to see them contest for that second spot, because right now it looks like they're losing to Liquid. Liquid wants to take another silver pen home right now. I really want to see Welcome to South Church play their usual game, stay together, frag out.
Yeah, and I'll take a moment here to really appreciate all the teams that have made it here so far. Thousands of teams, as you said at Kyle Harris. This was no joke of a tournament. Really top tier talent, and they've given us 4 days of amazing show, and a fifth one on top, of course, if you consider the charity stream. It's been a pleasure watching these gentlemen.
And that team on screen just before, Team Liquid, which we see some supporters for there as well, wasn't even supposed to truly be here at the very beginning of all the things. They did not qualify for the European qualifier, just slithered in after a disqualification and then got themselves first place and currently sat in second place. Here's Genji Black as well though, and admittedly a fourth place for them in the last game with 13 kills was a big play.
It's a big play, but also they're sitting in 11th currently. That also talks to how how kind of rough run they've had here in FAP.
Sure.
Unfortunately, they didn't have a good day yesterday, but they haven't really had a good day today yet. I want to see them keep fragging. I want to see Esther frag out as you usually did in TPP as well.
Do you feel that kind of is a knock-on effect of everybody, like all the other regions seem to be adopting FPP just a little bit more? Do you think Korea lacks kind of a little bit in that at the moment? Or
Dan Pemenang giveaway 31 tu pukul 12 malam.
And so has
Tengoklah
the entire eastern region of the world. We are talking about teams loving FPP. Of course, some viewers in China in particular have watching TPP. But everybody pretty much knows that FPP is the way to go, and they pretty much agree that it is indeed the fairer of both of the game modes and a bit more competitive.
Balak, if you could stop staring in my direction. No? Oh, okay, sorry, all right.
Focus on the game.
We've seen plenty of them, though, throughout this tournament, of course, not only in the Charity Showdown, but also being able to pick up that win as well. And a lovely win for them. Ghost Gaming, especially, when it comes to the 3 teams coming out from the North American region, wanted to perform well here on this stage.
I mean, yeah, of course they have to. But what I like to see as well, in North America, they actually show up. I just thought about it. They're actually sitting in 7th and 8th. We said we wanted to see them show up. They've actually been in. They're contesting for the money still.
Yeah, they're getting in there. They have a chance, of course, it's anybody's game. But I think right now, the story that we have to go through is WTSG versus Liquid. Who's going to take that second spot? Is it going to be the same as it's been on TPP, or will it change up?
Shall I practice my Vietnamese? Ang you em? I think it's I love you in Vietnamese.
Are you sure it's what you said?
I'm pretty sure that's what I said. There you go. I practiced it a while back.
Don't look at the crowd for confirmation. They're looking disgusted at what you said right now.
No, they love it. Anyway, regardless of all of that, Windfall as well, not had the easiest of times here, but it looks like the plane is in the sky here for the final time. Ladies and gentlemen, for one final time, are you ready?
Hell yes, of course we're ready. Round number 8. We are going to run everything up right now, Moses. Who takes first, second, third, fourth, fifth?
Well, I think it's at this point it's going to be a matter of a miracle for Liquid if they want to catch OMG. For now, it really looks like it's their game to lose.
Tanya soalan, jawapan sudah ada. Lagi lu mau tanya ke? Brother?
Neck and neck.
Emo lah, brother.
You are right.
Ready, come on, ready.
Like DJ Khaled to actually mess this up.
That would be a massive disaster.
But they are in a fantastic spot. But as you said, Liquid, WTSG, even Avanga are sort of in reach of them as well. But it's Liquid who have really been the true heroes of this day. 2 second positions. Each time they got it, it was 10 kills. It was 11 kills. They'll have to go big. Like, it'll be a insane comeback. First position and 25 kills. Actually give them first position, and that's basically saying, oh my god, we'll not get more than 15 points.
Yeah.
So it's a hard ask.
And there's really nothing happening around OMG right now. Honey Badger Nation in the relative area, but they had more Ghost players near them than OMG. OMG is going to grab those vehicles, try and get their loot strategy unfolded here, but it's looking like we're going to be heading all the way east.
Yep.
And that is going to be a mostly water circle to start this game off. So for OMG, they're going to be coming in on the stack side of the play zone.
Yeah, that's fantastic for Genji Gold. They can just loot Novo and then take a boat up towards the north. There's actually probably the least amount of pressure they've had as far as the circle goes in a very long time.
Just a matter of getting there and getting started. The Knights in the center position, starting their loot phase. Not a lot to hold on to just yet.
Quick. Come on, he's always been the man that survived for the Honey Badgers, and he's limping on 20% at the moment.
Silent is relatively close to some Honey Badger friends here, but looks like
they're coming over actually. Honey Badgers are on the way, so Silent BT, Fast Rail is, come on, commit.
Maybe trying to pressure them off their loot spot. Silent only has that AK, no helmet. Maybe a level 1 vest, can't quite see there.
Yeah, but, it looks like it's either a level 1 or a level 3. Is definitely not 2. It's not the right color for a 2.
Either way, Silent BT is going to have to back this off. No vehicle to use. So his loot phase being disrupted by the pressuring Honey Badger Nation, who is headed in their direction.
Yes, welcome to South George. It's like, okay, it's AVG who are on the northern side of the circle, northern side of Georgia Pole.
A little concerned about the way Honey Badger Nation is motioning towards OMG here. I see that vehicle kind of scouting around. You have to wonder what the game plan is here, unless Honey Badger Nation is trying to get down to the military base. Looks like that is the case.
They're just looking. Okay.
No, I was a little concerned. I was hoping that they were going to go try and throw some wasps in their party there. See
they're still roughly around the 6th position. They don't want to risk too much.
You know what they say about honey badgers?
They're very difficult to kill.
Yep. That's one of them. Yep.
It's pretty high up there.
So it looks like they're going to be headed down south, and for OMG, their loot phase is going to be relatively easy. Liquid having some friends in Yasnaya with them.
This has been happening time and time again. 4 a.m. and just in the neighborhood. So yeah, goodbye Honey Badgers. Enjoy the military base. It's all yours. Careful when you go east, however. But they're definitely looking to improve their rank.
Apa cerita tak ada orang mati lagi?
He's kind of been the ultimate fragger, the primary fragger, the real fragger for Honey Badgers Nation.
Bilik sedikit kotor.
10 of them. He's hit double digits.
On the way down the military base.
Oh,
ooh, Team Gates.
Exco, careful. Vit can't actually get the last connection in.
It's all right. It's only an iron sight M16.
Only. Oh, that's a pun.
You're
going to hold up your Sheldon sarcasm sign for that one.
It's harmless. It's like the Vector.
Oh. Style sliding up the hill. You only need 2 wheels to drive that thing. Looks like the rest of Myth are actually on the chase. I don't know if he's really got anything to fight with those Vit. You've got nothing in that information bar at the bottom. He's got a bullet called a Dacia.
The only weapon they might be able to use to affect this game around, unfortunately, for Myth.
Oh, we missed the roll. It was style 2-wheel driving, and they flipped it. But don't worry, there was a plan B in the form of Mortify. Texas making his run. As always, it just wouldn't be a game with Knights unless Texas was taking a little bit of fire early on. He's a little bit separated from the rest of his team.
Yikes.
Here comes Myth.
3 total kills still.
And yeah, bottom position for Myth. It has not been an enjoyable time, which is kind of a surprise. Like, they actually took the full Kalaris, jinx. And he's like, you know what, Myth, they're going to take a full round. They're going to claim first position, is what he said before we went into first person. And they have snapped back hard.
Yeah, they showed him who's boss.
Yeah. He did also say that OMG was going to be really, really good. So we can get 50-50, alright?
Tak ada Sarun. Kau tanya soalan logik sikit ah. Kau tanya soalan, Dan habis stream kau apa? Dan malam competition kau announce pukul 1 ke? Alah, relax ah bro. Belum 31 lagi. Aku hadiah tak beli lagi.
The chase is on.
Relax ah bro.
Little front advantage. Unfortunately, we're not playing
nampak sangat macam budak-budak. Lepas tu tadi dia pergi menganjing Cranes Rabies. Cranes Rabies, loot lah lagi. Boleh lagi kerja aku tu. Lek lah sial. Aku perhati je perangai masing-masing. Aku perhati je. Menganjing orang tu dah menang. Cranes Rabies, loot lah lagi. Boleh kejar tu aku tu. Habis menganjing teruk. Bila kalah kau ya.
Speaking of Chiefs, you're doing it. Critical.
Layan sajalah.
From Team Gates.
Mampus kau.
He'd actually managed to find himself in the middle of the 2-2 split of Team Gates, and he'll have to go back to the warehouse to hide. Everyone else is starting to come in as Critical barely survives it. Don't get hit by the bike, and he'll be all good. The circle is coming in. Everyone starts their constriction.
So the center position now getting very dense, that western side. Surprisingly sparse considering how many teams have crashed middle. They know that water is going to be adjusted out eventually. OHM opting for the strategy at Kameshki. OMG now slowly making their way eastward behind sorry, that's HQ once again. Ghost Gaming on the southern side. But really eyes on Liquid who are getting a little bit of pressure from 4 a.m. coming out of Yasnaya.
Come on bro. Macam aku baru start stream eh. Dan habis stream kau apa?
Apa kabut itu?
Come on bro, soalan. Make sense sikit bro. Aku bukan marah apa, tapi bila asyik tanya benda bodoh ke aku bengang kak kadang.
Pasal kau tak layan marah.
Tak layan je lagi kata palau.
Aduh, mentality.
Come on lah brother. Come on lah brother.
not wanting to opt for the
sudah berapa?
land vehicle, something that's going to be
no.
Running into the line of Profi. He hits the rail, however. Needs to hit Mr. Yobi. Hit him a couple of times, but not enough to drop him.
Baru start stream ni. Itu. Oh, start stream. Stream habis go apa? Aku dah macam
put that thing away. There's more vehicles.
Aku baru dah start lah. Nak kena fikir habis ku apa lah. Aku dah macam
well, I was expecting there to be another
kalau
vehicle.
boleh aku nak end sekarang kan.
How is he going to make the highlight reel unless he's able to shoot someone off a bike with a K98, alright?
He's trying to impress his girlfriend out in the crowd there.
Jangan kecoh sangat bro. Relax saja.
That's what he's looking for.
Hotel letak dalam sewa. Jangan hotel letak di luar.
Yes, you do. We love you. Don't hate us.
Ibiza on the way through. He's coming in the low side of that hill. OMG finding themselves in the or actually no.
And Navi actually passed them. They'll now be the most western team in the game. As Navi will get into the circle towards farm.
Tak safe sangat.
Tapi kalau aku last game nak tak basic kan. Mampu kita Pochinki je guys.
Ghost pergi Pochinki baru.
Ghost memang tempat dia. Tak, dia orang loot. Semua dah ada tempat sendiri.
Cuma dia akan rotate lah.
SLR long shot.
Macam dia orang akan loot situ every single game. Kalau kau tengok balik replay. Every single game dia orang loot tempat sama. Tapi macam 4 AM dia dah tukar strat dia last 2 game. First second game tadi first game dekat ni. Second game first game kat Angel dia pergi melee.
Level 1 vest can't last very long.
So
Liquid again looking for a spot to call home, trying to reposition here. Maybe back it off to the coastline, see what this first circle shift does look like.
I don't think they really want to go out that far though. Like if they go out to the coastline,
tak dengar dia cakap apa. First apa second game lepas tu?
Second game tu kan first game Angel kan.
Dia game military lepas tu.
You almost flipped the UAZ.
Eska did come to a halt.
Second game? After that dia game
baru.
So Kurad, one hit would do it. One hit. That's 4 misses. That'll work though.
Oh, terbalik tembak tayar lu.
Slow him down.
Not gonna happen.
That range.
Apa jadi ni? Terbalik apa?
Kereta terbalik dah siari.
Yang putih tu.
Genji goal.
Give her a crack.
Aku tengok dah tak terbalik lah.
Lepas tu dia tembak tayar.
He's driving right in front of gold. If he drives far enough, he'll
reach. Babi, aku enggak peluru, burung, bodoh.
And there's a new line coming in.
Come on, MG. Oh.
MG. Walah, aku nak baju satu lagi ringside set ni jadi lah. Walaupun aku dah ada kan.
Krama getting some sun up on the roof here.
Best place to get a tan.
So it's a weird angle, but Liquid is actually at a very low, steep hill below them. So Krama doesn't actually have a direct line of sight. Ibiza can move down that ridge as well.
It's actually amazing how much cover they have there because their teammates were on the hill behind them to the north.
Even though they're down
they tu. Semua sharp bodoh.
Tak, kalau down kan. Memang kau mati terus doh.
We'll see if it shifts out early.
Come on, MG, main safe sikit MG.
Going to drop, so Honey Badger Nation losing their critical player, their highest fragger. And the circle does go south, so everybody condense.
So the circle has shifted all the way south. This is going to mean a lot of pressure on that northern portion of the zone. And that's going to mean that all these guys are going to come all the way down into this very tight area around that prison, which is impassable essentially.
Fast rail,
so now it's going to be a very tough spot. We might see the lumber camp in action here. Once again.
I think impossible is like you just see the
Babi semua dah masuk bro. Weshem tu masuk last confirm mati tu. Tu je aku nak cakap.
Weshem teruk je main.
Dia tu Turki.
Wow.
This is a nightmare.
Nasib baik aku kat OMG bodoh.
Sama flag lah.
They're going to have to get rid of their vehicle very early.
Nice is almost about to get rid of one of their players by driving over the top, but Myth able to claim a kill.
The very rare.
Rio is the man who's on the receiving end for CGX.
Sedihnya.
Kena lagi.
Pantai tu CGX ni. CGX tu tak gerak, tak ubah apa-apa tu. Dan CGX tu macam tu team dia.
Semak.
Dia ada CGX dengan CGW.
Looks like Genji Black around the bunkers is their position. Larson sees it, Larson doesn't want it. Knights will remember that position very well.
This is a good spot for them. They have the option to flex into the prison, keep people from rotate. Well, as I say that, CGX crashes in right next to them.
WTSG are able to get up as well on their eastern side, so Well, you thought you thought Genji Black was going to have a nice position, but now they're surrounded. They're at least inside the circle. That's the upside for them. As,
Dia tak ada bullet sangat.
CGX.
Kena tembak on you.
Gets the run up and he'll make it towards the prison.
Nice,
They want to look down. And I think there's a lying in wait. It's Pure Boy who's already there.
I think that they're receiving pressure from across the other side of the ridge. That might be Team Gate shooting at them from across the way, but they've now allowed CGX in between them. However, the amount of teams that can get in and out of that prison is going to be fairly low. CGX banking on the interior prison. They are dead center. We've only seen one game in this tournament land around that prison area.
Kau dapat apa? Dapat baju bro, dapat set ni. PGI ringside set.
Savage staying active on the coastline.
If it does end up around the prison as well as the London Mill area, Team Liquid will be very happy. That's where they got very lucky with the circles last time.
Right back.
OMG holding strong.
Dapat PGI ringside crane ni, yang macam hoodie aku pakai bro itu.
They are 2-2 split.
Dia right back guys, 2 minutes.
Very close to each other, not looking for
2 minit je kawan-kawan.
trying to basically play it safe.
Yep. It will be difficult to push to the east, so they'll have to go through both Black, WTSG, and Na'Vi if they want to try and take anywhere up on the hillside.
If it shifts
bye Cik Pisang, selamat malam. Have fun dekat sekolah.
Only in minute 14.
Awas saya dah siap ada colak api.
Shift a little further south inland. Yeah, but the circle is encroaching once again.
There's 76 people alive, 20 teams, everyone still in the running for that first position as AVG try and take the road around the crates. A little bit harder to hold. A lot of position to shoot at him, including the Savage player who appears to be rock climbing.
Liquid would need to have killed probably 5 people already for this to be anywhere near an option for them to get into first place.
And they got tons of people on the field. there's another 72 people to kill.
Better get going. Every moment that OMG stays alive, the win slips further and further away. OMG was such a dominant lead here. They have a path, but it is laden with kills, and they need to start getting them early.
Yep, but they're waiting. OMG are very happy to sit this out. All they need is basically a top 10 position, and it pretty much ensures them first position.
Oh my god,
that's a lot of water in play.
Yeah, that's still like 35, 40% water. Milta Powell, Lepovka, the rocks will be a critical area.
This is not going to be a good time for a lot of these teams. OMG now has to decide how they want to come in. Looks like they're going to opt for the beach.
They're going to go straight through Na'Vi.
Yeah, they're going to have to go through the beach, but there's just no real estate.
Na'Vi's so split, though, that they don't actually have the numbers. Like Trainers and
No. Oh, no.
Straight down. This is style riding and looking for the run over. Profi. Well, he'll get knocked. Marimo will not only knock it, but he should finish the job.
Liquid is making a mad dash. That's a bold move, but they're going to have to capitalize on it.
Open up.
Oh, no.
Bring him down, Lion K. He's been the key flanker for OMG. Down to 20%, but 20% is enough to stay up and driving.
Right into the bottom side of Ghost. Ghost hears them in transition as well. Liquid coming to a stop. They've got themselves a zone.
No. Oh, my god.
So Xiaohai knocks, the rest of the team is coming over. Silent goes into the middle, still 20 teams up and kicking. Silent BT, you are in the worst position. He's trapped behind the car, he'll get back into it. He needed to move it, 2 hits, a third one will drop him. Turtle, can he actually single-handedly undo OMG?
Wow, that was very close for Silent. Barely making it in.
Anyone able to blow up that car? They know where he is. Silent's medding up quickly.
That was so close. Now the pressure coming in return. It's actually Genji Gold has a line as well. Just like that, OMG finds themselves hemmed into the rocks. They have no maneuverability.
That 2-2 split, and all the squads on the map are going against them. They'll leave Xiaorong behind. They'll at least be able to first aid up, but Gold have him well and truly pinged.
They got him down.
Oh my god.
Onto Xiaorong, being chipped away. Still 20 teams fighting. Vard will cop a bullet from the back. So he'll start to reposition too.
OMG moving now to the south of Liquid. They've just arrived. They've lost 2 players for sure. Now they only have 2 left. Xiaorong will be finished off. That's Genji Gold getting that kill. And they have CGW to their west, or east rather, as well. So now OMG finds themselves basically stuck. WTSG on the rotation. This circle is going to cause havoc for all these teams.
That it is. That's why you're seeing the movement. I think it's Gates who's going all the way around the eastern side of Mill to Power. But the circle is coming in. It'll reposition if it goes anywhere other than south. OMG are boned.
Yeah, it's really going to be tough. Teams have banked north or south once again, kind of like we see with the river. But so many going south, that means it's going to be a lot of pressure if it goes anywhere but that direction. I do think that OMG has a path here, but they continue to receive pressure, and they now know, CGW, that OMG is nearby.
Oh, WTSG, they're pushing on to Gold. Gaxy's looking for the line. Remember, it was Gold that was keeping OMG pinned, so they will have that moment as Gaxy looking around the corners, but he can't see anyone just yet. Sees him through the UAZ. The clip is up, but doesn't actually get the knock, and now the grenades come flying in. A quick finish. Both Eska and Simpson will both be finished off.
Really nice.
They don't want to make the run up high just yet. Chelter is still adding suppressing fire.
That was a nice quick 1-2 down there. They do get the res onto Miracu as well. WTSG executing nicely, finding themselves a very small spot on the southwestern side of the play zone. OMG still receiving pressure. They are full turtle here. They cannot do anything other than play defensive. And we are going to see the circle shift again. North or south is the question. And we are headed south and center. All the water comes out.
OMG can stay in the rocks. We're phase 4, still 20 teams alive and kicking. As everyone's trading up positions, Gold are getting into their vehicles. They want to move up north as quick as they possibly can. Everyone else.
That's good for WTSG, just having to push the gap towards Ghost.
Well,
have a little bit of
Gold
to work
running
with.
into the Honey Badgers. Well, Big Grizzly and Fast Rail able to knock them out, and Gold will go out in 20th position. That's their last round, their last ditch effort to get a better position.
That looks like an okay nade.
Yeah, that looks long. It looks good. It looks right on top of Molodoy. 2 nades right on top of Ilame as well as Molodoy. They thought that was a good little crevice, and it kind of is. The rocks are up. The UAZs create a nice line.
This is a ton of grenades getting used early. Not a lot of effect here.
Yeah, CGW
that looks
does
all
not
right.
throw that far. Okay, maybe they can. Molodoy will hit it, but it's Jeems who's trying to get involved as well. Here comes the rest of Na'Vi. So Liquid have a line. Remember, they need to find a lot of kills to make that first position, or at least secure that second position.
Those nades are landing closer and closer.
That hit Ilame. He's going for the pick.
If they came out a little further, they would be exposing themselves to other fire, but it looks like they did have a path to use some grenades. Must be running low on that supply, but for OMG, they are stuck still, playing fully defensive. Lion K and Silent holding on to those that rock outcropping. Liquid just a little further away. Can't push on them, but for OMG, they have a little bit of pressure coming their way in the way of WTSG.
Yep, everyone's trying to gain position on that eastern road as McCoy. Well, NG Black, they drop down into the middle of the lumberyard, and well, at least they've got cover on the wrong side of them. That at least is not a positive.
That's not a lot of movement there. They're going to have to throw some smokes out. Sexy Pig on the wide. But all the rest of his team kind of stuck. Esther going for the res. Grammatic having to just try and move around, throw some smokes out, get his team a path out of here.
Savage, they blocked himself in. He's trying to hold this little house, and it will now be taken over. He was the positional person to play for the later.
Na'Vi under a ton of pressure. Every knock and every kill, you can hear the Vietnamese fans just freaking out behind us.
Still crazy. Like, even if Lion K doesn't get another single kill, he's still got 510 kill points for
That's
today.
Insane. Lots of pressure lots of fire trading between Avangar and looks like Liquid.
Now, it was Avangar who were the ones trying to hold that eastern road. They still kept 2 up on the hill, so it's not easy for Liquid just to roll in on top and find the easy angles.
Circle's moving now.
Miracu's going to get knocked down, so once again, Honey Badger Nation going to work. Making trouble for WTSG.
This is really hard for Genji Black to get out of here. Ghost has them completely sewn into the lumber camp.
Oh, Liquid are just not giving up. They'll blow up the UAZ. And Na'Vi, they'll be happy to sit where they are for now. They're still inside the circle. The blue is coming in. So OHM as well as Myth, they have to come in from the northern side.
Knights have them held in. CGX has no easy path. Myth has made their way in, but they're holding a split, looks like.
Yeah, Gates is even getting involved in that northern attack.
So not a lot of movement here on the southern side. It's all about those northern teams. OHM on the way through. Savage now holding fights on 2 sides. Honey Badger Nation on the low side of the Chiefs.
Yeah, multiple players being knocked. Chiefs are in an absolute crossfire. AHQ and Savage just going ham on them. And GM Blues just trying to like move in closer and not get the attention of Knights, but it's too late.
That's another placement for OMG. They had a tough start, but they're now holding on to it. We'll see where the circle goes. It's about to change once again. So for Liquid holding that nice center position, they're in a decent spot. They have OMG right next to them.
Na'Vi
is in trouble, however. They have lost their vehicles, and they're completely stopped where they're at.
that Liquid counter at 0 kills, which is the scarier thing for them.
Nice.
Savage, oh, that's a nice line. Looking for the extra knock onto OHM. They got no easy way out. And it will be a double kill. There is still one alive, however. You can't see him. He's gillied in the middle of fire.
This open spot, where the circle is going, is going to be a nightmare. It's all open there. There's nothing you can do maneuverability-wise. It's all open field. There's no trees, nothing.
Is he the man, the early scout? They still have to know where OMG was. They have not moved in the last 5 to 10 minutes.
Every time he sees a vehicle, he inspects it. So I'm wondering if he's going to spot Silent.
He hasn't seen the vehicle yet. He ran
he
lower.
ran too far away. So for Larson, he has no idea that OMG is just a little bit further away from him.
But the rest of WTSG, they've got only one road, and that's through OMG to get into this circle. There is no other path to take.
OMG is not taking a fight here. They're going to hide this as best they can.
But this is fantastic now for Knights. Multiple kills, Myth are getting knocked. And they have no real way to try and survive this. Dre will line up for 2 easy finishes.
Nice.
Guarantee the points.
They're 15 on the board for the Knights. Now 4 total kills. Oh, I think they know something's up here.
Yep. Look around.
Oh.
The nade. Lion K protected by the rock face.
Oh, shit.
They're turning their attention now towards OMG. Remember, there's still 18 teams left alive.
They know something's up here.
Fuck.
WTSG must have seen something.
Nade flies high. Nade flies long. Are they going to deal with him?
I don't think that they can stand there for too long because Honey Badger Nation's pressuring them from the buildings. So Miracu, they have to have an idea that there's someone in the rocks, but they can't do anything about it right now.
They've run lower. They've run below OMG. If they ran up higher, they would have had a chance to shoot down into them. And now it's OMG with a better position. Knights, 4 AM, they're all coming in. The circle has pushed to the eastern side.
54 alive.
So this road has now become the highway of death.
Some toe shots happening. Boxic will go down. Anuktiv grabbing that one.
It's really good for
the Knights.
APG.
Wow, the Knights go down in 18th.
That's a huge. This is now going to start to mess around with a lot of the rankings around the 4th to 5th, especially if a Vanguard can continue to get these kills.
WTSG is still not relenting here. They know that there's got to be players around here hiding in the rocks. Lion K is relatively safe.
This
still
is fantastic for OMG.
0 kills for them.
There's now only 14 teams left remaining. OMG, with every minute they survive, they're getting more and more points. It's too easy for him.
Lion K has no other options really than to sit here. We'll see if they're going to be forced to move, and really all these teams have taken a center position ahead of them. So OMG does not have an easy path, but I think they've done just enough. But for Team Gates, they're trying to move in with Ghost now.
Genji blacks out, 14th position. Yeah, just ran out of space, so Ghost, as you said, Team Gates, watching that western side, they'll have to get through Liquid a little bit further to their east. Very open hillside, they'll have to battle through, but Turtle whiffs a lot of his early attacks. So Ghost
smokes out immediately.
Thought they had a way out. They've got 2 players only on their feet.
OMG
and
got
Mossy,
the circle.
they're turning their attention. It's red zone created by Mossy. Everything towards Ghost.
That looks okay. That was very close, landing very, very nearby. They're just throwing smokes at the screen.
All right, I think WTSG are finally going to do it. Silent and Lion K, they have been waiting for this moment. Miracu, look to your side! You're right on top of him. Now they're going to shoot him. How long does it take? Have you switched
Lion
the
K
weapon?
coming.
Now Lion K up above. The knocks in there, and OMG is eliminated in 13th position. WTSG into recovery mode.
Wow, that was so close. The smoke's now coming out in support. The reses are going to come, so that looks like WTSG will survive this. But Ghost are coming down to investigate. They heard these shots. They're being pressured away by Team Gates. WTSG on precarious ground here. Liquid looking good. They've got the circle once again, and now so many teams have to move their way.
Oh, Gates is coming in. Ghost, what do? You're being shot from above as Savage.
Wow.
The Chiefs actually getting over, so double knocks. AHQ getting involved in it as well.
Looks like Critical's the last man standing. 0 kills so far.
You've got Timid on one side and you've got Critical there too. Like, they're both trying to just run this rock face, but they're taking a lot of fire from far range. Finally, Myth will be knocked out as Minoru will die to Mumino.
Liquid not very active on the kill board just yet. We'll have to check in to see what their total is. But we have not seen that 25 kill win that we were hoping for.
The molly's out. Timid couldn't finish the job. Savage at least had 1 knock.
Wow.
They are staying alive. The 3 players on the coast. Na'Vi, we left them about 10 minutes ago saying they're in a bad position, but hey, they're tried and tested. Here comes AHQ right into Na'Vi, looking for some pass swipe. It won't happen. It's a slaughter. AHQ HQ out in 10th, and they wiped them from the face of the earth.
Wow, that was an incredible and ill-informed push by AHQ. Na'Vi laying in wait, and they will destroy them. That was very impressive and a slaughter indeed. Na'Vi, having come from the brink themselves, now hold on and pick up a ton of kills.
Yeah, Scoom's able to pick up a couple himself too. Mumino, he had a great time before, but Team Gates finding another line to try and get into the back of AVG. And it's worked perfectly. They've actually got them pinned where AVG thought they were nice and covered. Yeah. Not anymore. Diaz will be knocked. Mumino will go down all the way.
From all sides, Avangar getting pressure now. Team Gates still trying to hold on. Liquid actually has lost James, and now he's trying to crawl away to safety. Ibiza trying to throw the smoke to cover off.
This is so problematic with Savage shooting from far and Gates coming in close. Liquid. This is a tight and sticky situation.
They have lots of pressure on them, but it looks like they still have a good spot. Wow, nice shot.
Okay,
Savage.
Pressure relieved for Team Liquid. As Savage now with that knocker trying to get across the road. Remember, this circle will come in. There's almost no doubt about it. And there's no cover on the roadside anymore, but it goes to the road. We're actually on the eastern side. CGW are the only ones with a building inside the zone.
Liquid wants to finish this off quickly. They know that Team Gates is there. Bees has been putting down cover. Only 2 kills so far.
Yeah, that's not enough for them.
Still 4 strong, however, but they're going to be pushed into this wide open area. Na'Vi picking up kill after kill now with 9.
Yeah, they're making a huge run. They were 5th position at the end of the last round, and it wasn't that much separating. It was only 500 points separating them and Team Liquid. They may make a run for 2nd right now.
iLame takes down Gaxi in the back line. That's going to be an issue for them. So for Liquid, they're going to have to make a mad dash with the vehicles. It's all on the line here. That Ghost UAS moving slowly. You have to be mindful of those empty vehicles, does Liquid.
This is ballsy.
This is a good spot for them. They have a little divot there they can use as well. They can't group too hard, but Savage has a line. The rest of Liquid, this is what we've seen from them. They've split out once before.
Savage have nothing. Savage have a burnt out car to try and hide inside of, and Gates are trying to finish him off so they can push forward and focus 100% of their attention onto Team Liquid.
Mossy on the way through. The nades now coming out. Na'Vi making their push across the road. CGW, while quiet, has been played gatekeeper in this yellow cabin area. Liquid coming from behind.
Ubar real nice and close. He's looking for Marimo. The door will open up and then close. They know occupied.
No, thank you.
There are no rooms to let. But Na'Vi, they need a push. The circle will come in.
They have the ridge here as well, but they do not have the zone. The nades coming out nice inside.
Everyone's having to come in close through. As they are pushing in, WTSG, Honey Badger still out in the back. It's actually Fastrel inside the blue. Not only does he kill, he actually kills Bart all the way.
Drainies is down, the nades now following. Looks like the smokes need to come. Miramo goes down, that's a nice follow-up.
That's an opening for Na'Vi to try and get in. You've still got the remnants of Honey Badgers, not much of it left, as iLame will find him. Badgers are out. And WTSG are still pushing in. CGW getting approached on all sides up the hill. Gaxi, huge hits taken. It was iLame just letting rip with the AK.
Liquid, meanwhile, moving down the hill on their own. They've got 4 strong still. They are poised here. They've got great map control. So much happening around these yellow cabins. Now Na'Vi has taken a lot of kills, but also taken a lot of damage. Kurad is now the last man standing for CGW. WTSG trying to hold on. They've been taking casualty after casualty. They've had to prone out, try and med, but Liquid is very well positioned here.
Yeah, they're in the middle right now. So, like, what do you do? You're basically having 2nd to 4th position, battling it out with CGW, caught in the middle of the crossfire. And the circle, it still keeps CGW's edge of their building in, but Liquid have the priority.
They
have the most amount of the circle.
You have to wonder how much utility Na'Vi has left. CGW has been relatively quiet. They have 2 members left.
James knocked. That's going to make a small little opening for Na'Vi, but remember, they've still got 3 different sides looking to push him. Ubar looking for the head of Ibiza, cannot connect, however.
Na'Vi looking very good here. Now looks like James is going to be rezzed. The smokes do come out. Ibiza holding that front line along with Samty. CGW not moving. Na'Vi now looking to close this out.
They have to get WTSG. It's the only way to go forward. Molodoy is going to be the closest to him. WTSG, they are the kings of the snakes, and Molodoy in close range, not only knocked, but killed the whole way.
That's going to be huge for Liquid. They are now getting an advantage. 4 strong still. Gaxi gets that kill, but now WTSG and Liquid are poised to face off here.
iLame, He found the angle. He sees WTSG. Miracle was prepping the grenade. Gaxy's just looking for the line. iLane doesn't see over the hill, but they have to get into the building. CGW, they're waiting. Miracule's looking for a small line to get in. Wait for the right mark to hit. iLane, he can look up the side. He doesn't know if they've come up the hill just yet, but WTSG, they have to come closer. They are all going to cluster around the building, and this will bring him into the line of fire of Liquid.
Oh my God!
Is Miracle actually inside the building with CGW?
They have to push him out. CGW's inaction is horribly destroying WTSG's game. They have to wait for them. They have to move now. It's left them too long.
Shared accommodation. Miracle wants to take over.
No.
He didn't see the last. Larson is alive. He'll get a line of sight onto Santi. He's waiting for it. He's just inside the circle as CGW clean up the rest.
Oh, wow.
iLane, he's got to get up. He's chunking. He's chunking, and he gets knocked out. Santi will take the kill. James will finally be finished off. Larson reveals his position. Upa also with the chunk. He's trying to prone himself in, and he's in. He's barely inside the circle.
Larson,
as it's now Larson nated by Scoom. Out and forth. WTSG will go down.
Uba has a position. He's got a line of sight. Santi looking for him now. CGW still holding on. Uba on the wide flank.
He's looking the side of Pizza. Back into cover.
Oh, it's so close. Liquid has an advantage, but just barely. They have a nade position on them. Uba has nothing left. He's got a med now. CGW has to come out and do something, but they've been so inactive. They're preventing anyone from moving around them. Liquid poised to take this game.
That they are. Every single point counts. Liquid to try and hold that second position. CGW, the wrench in the works as Uba, the sole survivor for Na'Vi. They know where he is. The smokes are coming out. We've got 16 seconds so the circle will come out as Scoom just blasts through the door. He's waiting for them to make the run through the smoke and get a couple of extra clips.
CGW just needs to start spraying in that direction. They have the information, but they're not doing anything with it.
Oh,
Uba has to just be careful not to get caught out by either of these teams. It's a center-based asterisk. All the circle is going to push directly on the center. Liquid has the advantage, but what? Oh, CGW loses one.
Yeah, they'll knock one down. That's not really the way Na'Vi wanted to roll. If he gets the kill, he'll be happy with it, and he will. There's 15 points. You'll take everything you can get. Empty, crawling forward. He's so close to Kurat at the moment. Everyone bellies on the ground, apart from Scoom and Ibiza. They're looking over the hill.
Uba made distance.
He's got a little bit closer around the corner. Kurat behind. Samti, if he gets distracted, it gives a chance for Uba. They are right next to each other. He'll look up and he'll knock him down. Two teams.
Snake versus snake.
There it is. It all goes the way of Team Liquid. 9 kills in the bag.
Kalau tidak, Na'Vi boleh second tu. Kalau Na'Vi menang tu. Tapi Na'Vi dapat 12 kills tu, bapak. Bapak banyak. 12 to 13 kills.
Aku rasa ni pun dapat second lah.
Ya dah, sebab dia point tak banyak beza dengan Liquid.
Ya tu, China menang tu.
Ya tu.
Rekod menang 3-4-2-5.
Have performed so beautifully throughout this entire first-person perspective.
Yeah, dude, 200 points different.
They close the gap, just barely not enough. But OMG holding on. You can see the live rankings there. I believe they are the winners here at PGI 2018. Yeah.
They don't main power though, OMG.
They came in, they said they wanted to be aggressive. It wasn't the greatest last day for them, but they held in close. They pulled in as many points as they could to hold that #1 spot.
Liquid's effort there was amazing. They made it so close at the end.
And I cannot wait to throw down there. OMG, a very well-deserved victory. I don't think anyone is gonna go against it. Great to see also a Chinese team having success in this first-person perspective.
It's huge for, and I mean, now that we have this ability to kind of look back on this event, this has been massive for PUBG and a global esports. And there are your champions, OMG.
Tapi layan KK ni super power sial.
Ya tu, top fragger tu.
Dia dapat extra 10k tu sebab top frag.
Boleh simpan lah 10k masuk poket tu.
10k tu memang dia punya lah.
Ya tu.
China #1, bitch.
Habis lah banyak hacking lah lepas ni. Banyak hacker tu. Confirm. Confirm PUBG game banyak hacker.
Kamu tukar nama lain KK ni kita tengok.
Lain kontol.
Habis apa jerit Cina?
E-secret!
Pakai.
OMG, oh my god, what an absolutely fitting name, because that is the only thing that anyone in the audience or anyone of your competitors are thinking right now. Now, first question I have to ask, it's gotta be, winning 2018 PUBG Global Invitational, how does that feel?
能赢得此次 PUBG 2018年比赛，你们的作何感想？
我们很开心，然后做到了让你们开心的事情。
He feel pretty happy, and this is also a happy thing to share with all his fans.
Yeah, that actually leads perfectly into my next question, because coming into this event, especially the FPP portion of it, everyone's eyes were on the Western region, EU specifically. Not many people looked at China as to be like the top #1 competitors. How does it feel to really show all these people that your nation is absolutely on the map for PUBG?
打比赛之前，其实第一人称视角，大家的关注点都在西方的战队，但是你们赢得这场比赛，为中国人争了口气，对此你们有什么感想？
China number one. Sedap jawapan dia. China number one.
Now, I would be remiss to bring attention to not just your team's incredible performance, but particularly you, Lion K, absolutely dominating the competition. Definitely you're putting yourself out there as potentially the best player in the world. Do you specifically have anything that you want to say to your teammates, to your fans, to everyone out there now applauding your performance?
接下来这个问题就要问一下小狮子了。小狮子可以说是当之无愧的最有价值的队员。对于这场比赛，小狮子有什么想法跟大家讲的吗？
China number one. Pertama dia cakap.
我很尊敬在场的所有的选手。能拿到这个击杀王，我很荣幸。然后感谢就是各位粉丝的热力支持。He respects all his opponents and he thanks to all his fans from the world. Appreciate. He feel pretty happy.
Well, OMG, congratulations once again. Absolutely dominating performance. Now, ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere because we are going to have the award ceremony afterwards in just a little bit. But before that, I'm going to throw it back down to the analyst desk to help finish up this final game.
Let's go, Liquid.
Fuck you lah, Malay. Jom main.
That's right, thank you very much, Cameron. Of course, AOC told us at the very beginning in China.